All right, there we go.
Hello,
It's officially
hello.
working. And let me hit my record here. But yeah, thanks for everyone who's coming in to join us here for our last recording. This is the last recording of This Is Awkward. We're gonna probably do like a couple of recordings out all at once. But no, I appreciate you joining us, and sorry for the late notice on this one. This was a we kind of squeezed it in where we could fit it in for this last recording.
Yes.
Kirsty, you gonna join in Discord?
Yeah, I am.
And then why did it jump down to zero?
They saw you, said, Psh, forget this, we're out.
Aw,
Deuces.
rude.
Deuces. That's what they end up saying.
Okay. I am recording on QuickTime.
Okay,
Got it.
All right, so just so I don't forget, let's just get this out of the way. We'll do our quick clap here. So we're gonna go, what, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
All right.
3, 2, 1, clap.
3, 2, 1, clap. There we go. Get our marker in there. And yeah, so what we're thinking about for today is we're going to do a supersized episode of This Is Awkward, because we recorded our second to last episode back in October when we were together in FinCon in New Orleans. And that's when we announced it and let everyone know the show was coming to an end. And then this is we're finally getting to our final episode of the show here. So we had two really good ones. It's kind of just sitting there in the bank. And then now we're like, hey, why not? Why not? We'll just put them both together. We're just going to cut out some of the extra fluff and we'll just make it one big episode. Logan is saying, he said, Allison has an echo.
I do.
Why would I have an echo?
He said there's an echo.
Uh-oh.
Let me see.
Allison has an echo on YouTube.
Oh, you're echoing on YouTube.
Do
I have an echo in for you, Chris?
No, you don't sound echoey to me. Let me see.
I wonder if I have an echo in Discord.
Let's see. I don't have anything. I'm checking my settings here. I don't see anything weird happening.
Am I using the correct microphone?
Tab it. Yeah, you're using the right mic.
Okay.
Let's see. How bad is it?
Logan, refresh.
Refresh. I don't think he needs to refresh.
You don't think so? I was
Because we got somebody
that's what I always do.
Rocky also said this. Let me see. I'm gonna put this in the
Oh no.
Allison has an echo on YouTube.
Oh no. Is that not Logan?
No, that's somebody else.
Oh no.
Typical. I'm trying to think what could be causing that.
Okay, Logan's checking. Oh my goodness.
I'm going
Logan's checking over on Discord. Logan, do I have an echo on Discord?
Oh wow, yeah, you have a bad echo. I was listening to it right now on YouTube.
Okay, what do I do?
Okay, let's see. Probably need to fix something.
Is it on me? Do I need to fix something? Is there a settings I can go into?
I have no idea, Allison. I have no idea. Let's see what's causing it. Let's see. I want to make sure it's not me. I don't have anything else. You're not getting routed anywhere else on mine. Let's see. Let's see. The only thing I'm gonna try. Let me try one thing on my side. Let me see if I do this. If I go over here, I'm gonna change my mic. All right. Let's see. Okay, say something now.
Okay. Do I still have an echo?
Yeah. All right. Let us know. Do you still hear an echo from Allison now? I changed something on mine just to see if that might be causing a problem.
I don't even. Perfect way to end. This is awkward.
It is. A little awkward technical issues.
I don't even see like an option for me to change my settings.
See, what is your input? What's your microphone set as?
I can't even see that anymore. No more echo.
Okay, good. All right. So maybe I fixed something on my side. I'm not sure what it was.
Great.
But there we go. All right, we got it fixed. So
awesome.
Let me bring
Should we clap again?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't need to do that again.
What? Here's my settings. I found it. But yeah, it does. It's my correct microphone.
All right. So yeah, like I said, we're going to do a big bonus double size episode of This Is Awkward, 2 awkward stories. And then we're going to do a couple Patreon episodes, or maybe just one. We're like one Patreon episode with a bunch of stuff in it. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me get this over here. Bring it up. There we go. Okay. All right. I think I got everything in place now. We should be good to go. No echo. Everyone can hear us, right? And there we go. All right, move this out the way. So we're just gonna kick it off. We're gonna do it a little bit differently. We're gonna get to the point on this one. So I'm gonna hit the intro.
Okay,
we're
sounds
gonna get
good.
started with the episode. Hey, this is Chris.
And this is Allison, and you're listening to our final episode of This is Awkward.
This is it. This is the last one. After 3 years, we started this in March of 2020. We didn't know we were planning a pandemic show, but it ended up being a pandemic show when it started.
It's funny because I remember thinking, no, it wasn't March, but I guess we started recording and prepping and everything in January.
Yeah, so we started at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we started talking about it at the end of 2019. So I'm always thinking, oh, we started in 2019, but we started it in 2019.
Yeah, people didn't get to hear it until March.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's been a journey. I don't even remember how the idea or the concept came up for this. I think we recorded something, and I just thought I think something about what we were talking about, it sparked this idea, and I was like, what if we did like a call-in show, like where we could just hear people's awkward stories and talk about them? I think we must have covered something on Popcorn Finance similar. I think someone sent in a question that maybe was like in the vein of what we do here now, and
yeah,
like, maybe this could be its own podcast. Maybe it could be its own thing.
And it was for 3 years. It was good. It was fun. And I have to say, Chris, I'm excited about this first story because it's holiday themed.
Yeah, it is. I was like, this feels very appropriate. Obviously it's Christmas, unless for some reason you all listen to this episode way after the fact. This is December when we're recording this. We're a couple weeks out from Christmas now, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. Exactly 2 weeks out from Christmas now.
Yes, 2 weeks out from recording this. And Christmas presents are on my mind. The holiday shopping, all of that is just very present right now for me. And this story is about presents.
Yeah, might as well jump into it. All right, do you want to read the first one?
Sure, I will. So this one was actually something that a Patreon member, came across online.
No, this isn't. This is actually someone Gina DM'd this to me. This is not her story, but she came across this story and she was like, I think this would make a good one for the show. And I agree. So I was like, that's why I put it in there for our lineup.
Yes. Okay, so here's what it says. Would you tell your close family that this year there won't be any Christmas presents? Sorry, hold on. Let me start that over. Would you tell your close family that this year won't be any presents for Christmas? I have come to terms that this year I won't pretend to have money to buy Christmas presents. I always use credit, and I'm pretty sure I am still paying for presents bought 3 to 4 years ago. I feel bad that family might come over to drop off presents and expect one for us not to have any. Would you say something to them ahead of time?
Oh, I feel like most people can relate to this, right? Like where Christmas is like supposed to be like this joyous, happy time, end of the year, celebrating, and we're all kind of dealing with, oh no, we got to buy people gifts, and gifts cost money, and then I'm gonna feel bad if I don't get people gifts, but then I don't want to be in debt for the first 6 months of the new year or like for years after. So, man, I really feel for them on this one because sometimes you feel like you're just shuffling money back and forth, right? Like people are giving you money and then you're giving them the same money back.
Yes.
And for what?
To have stuff in your house.
Have a bunch of junk that you probably don't even want. They're just gonna. It is hard, and I think in a situation like this, right, where this person, they recognize like, look, this is not a good thing for me. This is buying these Christmas gifts are putting me in a horrible position financially, and I think it's like you have two spots, right? And I think you kind of dealt with this one. You have been in a situation where you said, look, I don't have the money. We're going super cheap on gifts, or you can just say, we're not doing gifts at all. And so I know you've done the let's go super cheap. So would you rather in this situation, would you rather go super cheap with all the gifts, or just say, I'm not giving you anything and just let people know ahead of time you're not getting anything from me?
I would rather go super cheap. So when Matt and I were first married and we were paying off debt, we didn't save. I didn't know what saving money really even was. I had never saved. So we found ourselves at Christmas, and we were teachers. We didn't get Christmas bonuses like some people do. Like I have a friend who uses her husband's bonus to buy all their Christmas gifts. That wasn't like an option for us.
No, I've never gotten a bonus in my life. A Christmas bonus has never happened.
Yeah. Thanks, government employees. And I remember telling them, I remember being like, okay, we're really sorry, but we don't have a lot of money to buy gifts. So your gifts are going to be very minimal this year. And I kid you not, we spent like $10 a person. So $10 for our parents combined, $10. And then $10 for my brothers. So it was very, very minimal. And we didn't give each other gifts. And I felt good doing that rather than just not having anything at all, because I felt like it would be hard for me to receive and not give in a way.
Ooh, kind of like what they're saying here. Like they're saying, like, they're nervous someone might come by, drop off a gift, and then they're gonna feel bad that they don't have anything to give back to them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I saw a TikTok the other day that it had this mom had these extra presents, and the daughter was like, "Who are those for?" She said, "Those are for the people that I didn't know they were giving me a gift. And whenever they bring me a gift, I say, 'Oh, your gift is right over here.'" And she like hands them something. So she has backup gifts to keep this situation from being awkward. So I think 100% tell them in advance. And it's just the tricky part is I was willing to be open about our financial situation to the people we were giving gifts to. However, I know in some families, people aren't willing to be open about their financial situation.
No, not at all.
Or exactly. So that's when I think it gets into this really kind of touchy area. What do you think, Chris?
Well, okay, this question popped into my mind, but I want to ask you this first before I give my side on this. If you were to give a gift to someone, right? So say, I don't know, just a quick random person. Just say it's like your cousin, right? And you're like, you know what? I want to give my cousin this gift. Mm-hmm. And you just thought of this on your own. You're like, I saw this really nice thing. I think they would really enjoy this. They're really into Star Wars, and there's a Death Star fire pit. And I saw it, and it was on sale, and I had to get it for them because I just really like getting. I thought this would be perfect for them. Are you then in turn going to feel bad if they don't give a gift to you? Like, do you have that feeling going in, like, if I spend all this time, this money, this effort buying them a thoughtful gift, and I hand it to them and they don't reciprocate with a gift back, do you feel bad? Do you feel some type of way? Like, what's going on?
Okay, I'm going to answer this totally honestly.
Be honest.
Be very honest. Okay, so I am a type 2 on the Enneagram. So I'm like the helper. And then when I go in a negative space, I am resentful for people not reciprocating. However, so here's my honest reaction. If it was someone that I have never really given a gift to, we don't have that kind of back and forth.
Yeah,
so I would have no expectation. Gifts. I would be like, it would bring me joy to just do that. But if it was someone like my brother, who for years I give him gifts and he gives me gifts, and there is that back and forth expectation, I would be like, why'd you forget about me?
Okay.
So I will say that. So I would rather it be like him come up and say, hey, we're struggling financially, which I don't want to say my brother is at all. I'm just.
You hear that now? Breaking final episode of This Is Awkward.
No.
Allison lets the world know her brother doesn't have money for a Christmas gift.
He's a data scientist. So I'll just put that right there. But I would rather hear like, oh, just wanted to let you know that we are really focusing on saving. I mean, you can be super vague about it. That's the good thing, is you don't have to go into details. You don't have to tell someone your credit score, how much debt you have. You can just say, Christmas has been tight, or inflation has, taken its toll. Or you could say, we're just saving. We're focusing on saving, or you can just get them a gift that's something that's really small and not like draw attention to it. The fact that it might be a less expensive gift than you normally would get.
Okay. So it sounds like you're leaning towards go with, like, instead of nothing, just go with like something really inexpensive, maybe thoughtful, and let that be your gift.
Yeah. Or even like an experience.
Well, okay.
Like
right, what type of experience?
Okay. Oh, if my brother were to come to me and like literally I opened up a gift that was like, I'm going to keep your kids for a weekend. We're going to have them over to our house for a sleepover on Friday and Saturday night, and you get a weekend to yourself with just you and your husband. That is much better than anything he could buy me. Like, done. My kids get to make some fun memories with their aunt and uncle and hang out with them, and I get a peaceful and quiet weekend with my husband. Like, we should send this episode to him. This is a brilliant idea. It costs nothing.
That's true. You can say, hey, look, I just so you know, I said you're broke in this episode, but what you can do is give me a free weekend away from my kids. That's what all I need from you.
Well, like, I know you have a niece. Like, let's say that you couldn't think of something to give your sister-in-law or your brother. Saying something like that, like, oh, I'm going to give you I mean, I don't know if they would do like an overnight away from their little sweet daughter, but being able to say like, hey, I'm going to give you this date night where you go away, leave her with me all day for a day date or whatever, you know they're going to love that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And I think that kind of leans into like maybe where I'm thinking with this is like, instead of going no gift, right? Like instead of saying like having to go through the awkwardness that is telling people, sorry, we can't afford to give you a gift. Because I think when you do that, people are going to then judge you and all your other spending habits around that time of year, right? So like say you're like, I know I can't afford to buy everyone gifts, but then like maybe you had this like small little trip plan for your family, or you're having to buy something.
Yep.
People are going to be like, oh, I guess they have money because look at this. They just didn't want to buy me a gift. Like you're going to deal with that type of stuff. So to avoid that awkwardness, I think doing something like what you're saying, something thoughtful, like a thoughtful gift that doesn't necessarily cost money, but something you can do for someone. Or even, I even had this idea of like, what if like for Christmas, like not the only gift, but like, I don't know, like being, like giving someone like a sincere, like sincere moment where you like compliment them and like really like say like some positive feelings you have about the person, right? Like how often do you have like a genuine conversation with someone, right? And you get to like really just say all these nice things to them, like about like, oh, I really appreciate this about our friendship, or this is how you are. And like, or write them a note or a letter, like doing something like that you wouldn't normally do unless they like died. Like that's the only time you say these nice things about people. It's like, oh, at the funeral, I'm going to say all these nice things about this person that you never say to them while they're alive.
This has gone dark.
It's gone dark. It's the final episode.
Okay, Chris, I feel like maybe you should start opening up to people and telling them how you feel and how much you appreciate them and you enjoy them. And like, I feel like maybe you're not doing that enough in your personal life.
Are you sitting there telling me that you have these like really like honest, open conversations with people all the time? You're like, you know what? Let me tell you about how I really feel about you and say these kind of words. I feel like most people don't take that. We don't take the time to do that because you're like,
that's true.
Why would I do this?
I mean, I would say that's true. I feel like I do that with like my mom because it's easy because we'll go back and forth about things like that. I do that with my kids. I will say that I'm very intentional about doing that with my children and like my immediate family. But I do want to talk about though. So what's your final answer? Because I do have another like kind of caveat to this.
Oh, there's a caveat in there. Okay, give me the caveat. Yeah. Go. I want to hear what this is going to be.
Well, I just want to talk about, I would not be doing myself and my business justice if we did not talk about how to not find yourself in this situation. Because it sounds like this is a repeating pattern for the person. I mean, they said that they are paying off presents that they bought 3 to 4 years ago. So basically putting it on credit card, charging it. So not only do I not want to talk about just how to deal with this in the present when you've realized like, gosh, I've hit the point of like, I'm not willing to do this and continue this pattern. Like that's wonderful. But then now what do we do moving forward to make sure that you're not in that same position next year? And instead, what can you do between January and December of next year to have a better handle on Christmas spending?
Okay. All right. I think I know where you're going with this. But all right, I want to hear what you're going to say.
I'm going to say get as many credit cards as you can.
There you go.
Open them all up. No kidding.
Put them under somebody else's social security number and then move to
exactly. No, I mean, obviously, like I'm a big fan of sinking funds. I know you do this. I do this. And I honestly did not know this was a thing. Like I did not know that this existed or even the idea of doing this whenever I was younger in my 20s. And it seems so brilliant to me. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so normal. But it's just intentionally setting aside money every single month for something you know is going to happen, like Christmas. So my first Christmas, I found myself in this awkward position of telling people, oh, I don't really have a lot of money. So like the gift is us and this small little thing, right? And I hated that feeling. And so I said, okay, the next year we started putting away $50 a month. I said, if I can put away $50 a month by starting in January, by the time December comes around, I'll have $600. And that's $600 more than I had the year before.
Yeah, that's
to spend on Christmas. And it made it a lot less stressful.
That is true. I like doing that with a lot of big purchases. Is like finding a way to break it up. Like it's almost like instead of waiting, buying it when you don't have the money on a credit card and then just making payments back to the credit card for what you spent, kind of doing it in advance, right? You're just kind of flipping that process over. You're just, I'm going to be making payments all year long. So that way, when it's time to buy it, I don't have to worry about any credit card debt or interest. Just boom, throw it on there. And I like that. I'm always a fan of that because I like manageable expenses. I like knowing how much I'm going to be spending every month and not have all of a sudden like December becomes like this balloon month for most of us, right? Like all of a sudden you spend 2-3 times more than you normally would just because you're doing all this stuff. You're buying gifts, you're going out to eat, maybe you're going like a little trip with your family. Like you're doing all these things. And if there's a way to break that up to where maybe I can just spread that cost out over the whole year, I'm all for that. Because I hate that all of a sudden, like, oh man, let me go pull some money out of my savings account because I went a little crazy this month. Like I hate having to do that.
Yes, or putting it on a credit card, even worse, and not being able to pay it off. So I just felt like we had to talk about that as an option. But I think that there is no shame in telling family and friends that either just getting them something small and not saying anything at all if you're not comfortable, or getting them something small and saying, hey, I wasn't able to go all out this Christmas, but just saying that. I wasn't able to go all out this Christmas. Here's your gift.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's a question for you I want to ask you. Would you rather get no gift at all, but with an explanation, or a really bad cheap gift from someone? Like someone's like, look, I don't really have a lot of money, but they buy you like just some random thing that costs like $3 and they just gave it to you. Would you rather have that or them just be upfront and say, you know what, I really don't have the money for a gift this year, so I just want to be upfront with you. Like, what of those two would you like?
This is a really great question, and I will tell you that being a teacher has changed the way that I think I would answer this in the past.
You guys get a lot of cheap bad gifts.
We get a lot of cheap gifts, but I have seen the joy that it brings really children to give that gift. So some people, it brings them joy to do that. And even though I would be getting like lotion from the dollar store, it brought them joy to give. And so I would rather just have it be whatever makes the person feel best. That's what I would rather have. Now, it's different for me than it would be for like my children. Like if my parents couldn't afford Christmas and they just never said anything, and then they just didn't like get my kids anything, I would be like, what's happening? Like they're expecting this, or I don't know. It's different for my kids. I would rather not receive a gift because I just want to protect them a little bit. I don't know. But I see the joy that it brings people to give gifts. It brings me joy to like give gifts to my family, to pick out presents. And I like wrapping them. I mean, we've talked about this. I love wrapping gifts.
I love wrapping gifts too. That was like my thing growing up. I was like, excellent. I had those crisp lines.
Yes.
Use like 1 or 2 pieces of tape. You know, when it comes to this question, I think it depends, right? I think it depends on the intention behind it, right? Like if this was someone who they just like it was not in their budget, like they even like they couldn't, they just don't have the money, but they still took their time and just found something like just really from their heart, thoughtful gift. I know this is barely cost anything, but I got this for you because I really want to get you something. That's different versus someone's like, oh man, I kind of forgot. Here's this random coffee mug that I got from somebody else 2 weeks ago. Like, don't give me that. I don't want your trash.
That's true. I'll agree with that. I will agree with that. You can always partner a very inexpensive gift with a kind note. Like that's always acceptable. But yes, just like Dolapo says, it's mostly the thought that counts. Any gift goes a long way. And like those were some of my favorite gifts that I would get. Like some of my favorite gifts I received were from parents writing me a really nice letter, a really nice note about how they appreciated me or how I helped their child. Like I could go without the $10 Target gift card. I would rather have that.
And look, you're making all those faces when I said, you know what, I think like a good idea would be like, I give like a really heartfelt note, or I give a really like heartfelt conversation with someone. You're like, that trash. I don't want that.
That's true. But I don't know. What do you think? Like, I know you would rather have the thoughtful, kind note, but I have a question. Would you, if you were in this situation where you didn't have any money, what would you do with your family?
That's a good question. What would I do? I think part of it is like the obligation, right? Like I know everyone's going to give me something. So then I feel like I have to give them something. And I've been in those situations. And what I did was I went into credit card debt. So don't do that. But I think that's what I've tended to lean towards, just because there's like, someone's going to get you something nice and you feel this guilt of, oh crap. And I didn't have I didn't have the maturity to be like, I can talk to them and say, this is what I'm going through, or this is where I'm at. Just because, like, I think for most of us, it's not part of our regular interactions with family and friends to have vulnerable conversations about our financial situation. Like most of us aren't. You're not telling people, oh, I got a bunch of credit card debt and I'm struggling, or oh, you know what? Oh, I had to give up, I don't know, making a car payment so that I could go and like pay for utilities. Like people aren't opening up and telling these these details about their lives because you don't want to look broke or irresponsible. And so I think it makes it even harder during the holidays when someone's going to be generous to you, to not only say I can't give you a gift, but then also explain why you can't give a gift. That's a lot. Like that's a lot to take on. So when I've been in those situations, that's what I've done. Or recently I've been like, okay, here's a budget for everybody. This is how much I'm willing to spend per person. And I'm going to cap it. Even if someone gets me something that's way more expensive than what I got them, I know this was what worked within my budget. This is what I said I can do, and just being okay with that. And it's hard at first, but you slowly just come around to being like, you know what? I feel better having worked within my budget versus now I have to pay this credit card off in the next like 3 months of the new year. So that's kind of what I've transitioned to. It was a hard transition though.
I have a question for you, because I have received some hate on how I budget for Christmas in the past, and how much I budget, and how much I budget per person. So I'm going to tell you.
Okay, I want to hear this. Like, I want to know what kind of hate
and
you're
I want to
getting.
hear your reaction. Okay, so I have a system.
Okay.
We save money every single month. So let's just say by the end of the year, I know I'm going to have this much money. The way I split it up, I have a spreadsheet. Wouldn't you love to see that?
Whatever you're doing.
I know. You're like, keep telling me more, Allison. I have a spreadsheet, and the kind of center of our family, my children, my husband, and I, we get the most money. Like we spend the most on us.
Okay.
And then it moves to our parents, and then they get an amount budgeted. And then as you move further away, your dollar amount gets less. So my parents have a certain dollar amount, and then it goes to my brother and my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and they have a certain amount. And then it goes to, I only have one nephew. He actually is at the same level now as the brother and sister-in-law. But then it goes kind of like spreads out. And I've received hate because people are like, why does your nephew get less money budgeted for than your parents? And I feel like some people just say, I'm going to spend $50 on each person just across the board. Just $50 on my parents, $50 on my nephew, $50 on, and I don't do it that way. The way I do it is the further out you are from our family, the less money I'm going to spend on you. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that makes complete sense. Like I don't do it that way, but that makes complete sense that you would be like your kids and your husband are the highest, and then it just trickles down. Because you're the closest to those people. You're going to see them the most. They're the biggest part of your life, and it's like, I don't know, if I have like a cousin that I see like once every 3 years, I'm not going to be like, you know what, I'm going to give you the exact same amount as I do my kid that I take care of every day. Like, I don't know why there's hate on that, but I do a flat amount. I actually haven't said it this year. I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I bought like one gift so far this year. I'm not even close to being prepared for Christmas.
Oh my gosh. I have 2 gifts left, and that's it to buy.
Yeah, I got one because I got on Amazon real quick because I thought about it in the moment. In the past, I remember I used to do like $50 per person. Boom. Everybody gets $50. And then I would just lie to myself and I would end up spending probably different amounts, like a little bit more depending on who it is. Like if there's something like this person really wanted this, like this would be a perfect gift, but it's more than 50, I would go over for that one gift. And I would just try to keep myself back at that level for everyone else. And that's how I would do. Like regardless of who you were, how close you were, you're all right here at the same level.
You're all getting that same amount.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with having like tiers on this thing.
Okay, good. Because I was like, is that not normal? That feels legit to me.
Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't really to me, what's more important is what the gift is versus how much it costs, right? Like I don't care that you got me an expensive thing if I don't want it versus a cheaper thing that was like perfect for me. Like I don't.
Yeah.
For at least for me, I know some people maybe care about how expensive their gift was, but for me, I'm like, the dollar amount doesn't matter.
Okay, so I will say that for me, it is I don't care about the dollar amount spent on me, but I'm very strict with the dollar amount I set for others. So like over Thanksgiving, I was like, Mom, what do you want? She was like, I don't know. I was like, no, I'm ordering all the things while we're on this break. You need to tell me what you want. And so she went on Amazon and she started sending me links. I'm sitting at the table with her doing a puzzle. And I was like, okay, you have $35 left. She's like, that's okay. I was like, no, you have $35 left. Figure it out,
you're
Mom.
doing too much.
So searching more. So I have like all of these things, all of these like smaller things for my mom. And then I'm like, okay, you have $10 left. She's like, I can't find anything else. I said, well, what do you want? You have $10 left in your budget. She said, just give me a gift card. So I have all these things and then a $10 Amazon gift card because I needed it to get to that number.
So you're doing too much. That's way too much record keeping here. It's like everyone has like a balance. Like, look, it's your FSA. You got to use this money before the end of the year, or it's gonna disappear. You gotta spend it all.
That's what it is. I have it. I have the budgeted amount and the actual. And if it doesn't come out in one item, I keep track of all the different items until it hits the actual. And then I'm like, okay, I can put in the actual because I bought all of these different things and it totaled up to this.
That's way too much work, Allison. That's way too much work. Everyone's getting one gift from me. You're getting one gift, and it's gonna be around this limit that I've set. You know, is like there has to be a good reason for there to be two. Like there needs to be like these two need to go together. So that's why I got these two things. But you're getting one gift, call it a day. Cause I'm not gonna sit here and keep balances for everybody.
No, I do it for everyone. I do. So like my dad, he just wants a gift card. Okay, that's easy. You get one gift. But my mom's getting like 5 gifts or 4 gifts and a gift card or something.
You know what? Okay, I gotta. I don't know if this is controversial, but this is. I have a thought on gift cards here. I think cash is greater than gift cards. I have no problem with someone giving me money. Like I think some people get weird about getting cash. Like, oh, I don't want to give them cash. I want to give them like a gift. But if you give them a gift card, you're essentially just giving them money. And I sometimes hate using gift cards because sometimes it's like super complicated to activate these things. I have a gift card sitting here on my desk that I have not been able to activate for like a year and a half because the website is horrible. And every time I go, I get an error. Every time I try to activate it, I'm like, what is going on? I've had to like email customer support because their website's not working. And it's like this. I'm like, this is a headache. I was like, I've never had this much difficulty activating a gift card because I can't even use it until it's activated. Or you end up in a situation where it's like you get like $12 left on this, and I'm like, well, I don't necessarily need something from the store that's in this range. And
$12,
If someone just gave me cash, I can just do whatever I want to do with it. Or even just if you want to just Zelle me some money for Christmas,
gosh, sure. This is very controversial. You brought up a really controversial thing because I actually somewhat agree and somewhat disagree. I think for people like, okay, for instance, my mom and dad will write us a check. They don't do cash because, you know.
Okay, I don't want a check.
Oh, I have a funny story about my mom writing me a check, but save that for Patreon or something. But she will write me like a Christmas check. I'm not saying it's like a lot of money or anything, but she'll do that and give me a gift card. But so I don't know why, but like my grandma will give us a gift card for Christmas, but cash for our birthday. So my grandma still does that. So
it depends on the occasion what type of monetary gift you're getting.
I think so because I would feel bad giving my dad just cash for Christmas. Like that feels weird to me. Yeah, it does. It feels weird to me. But it doesn't feel weird to receive cash from him for some reason. Maybe because like so much of my life, they've given me cash for my birthday or whatever, like growing up.
Oh, yeah. You're used to just getting money from your parents.
Well, like, I mean, you know, like before I was younger. Yeah, when I was younger and I was like turning 15 years old and they would give me $50 or whatever for my birthday. That's what I'm used to, but I've never given him cash. Now, I will say I have family that think giving gift cards is not appropriate, that they want you to put thought and energy behind an actual gift. I do have family, and that drives me crazy.
I get it, right? Because gift giving is an art. Like you have to know someone in order to give them a gift, right? You need to know some detail about them, some piece of information that can tip you off. You have to know what stuff they already have, so you're not getting them duplicates, what stuff they don't like, so you don't accidentally get them a wrong gift. Like, there's thought that goes into that. But like, I don't know everyone on that level. Like, even family, like, I don't talk to you enough to know, to be confident that when I get you this gift, you're actually going to want it. And I'd rather not give you something that you don't need, or you're like, oh, thank you, and you're like throw it in the back of your car and it's going to live there for the next 3 months. Like, I'm like, cash does feel impersonal, but I love, like, my dad, I love giving him cash, and he loves getting cash because he loves to golf, so he just takes it and goes play golf with it. I love, like, I put it in my hand and I give him a high five, like, oh, like that, and then he takes it and he's like, oh, what is this? And he puts it in his pocket. Like, to me, that's like the best gift. He's the happiest when I just give him straight up money.
I don't know. I would feel weird giving my parents cash, but I don't feel weird receiving cash. I would not feel bad like giving my kids cash, but and like, I even think when my oldest son, who's in middle school, goes to birthday parties, we give like $20 cash and a card. Like, I don't even give the kids his friends' birthday gift cards. I don't do that. That takes too much time and energy.
Yeah. And they don't care.
We just give you cash. So I don't know. So it's weird. And that's probably like a personal kind of just like family dynamic situation. But I will say, and I'm just going to say this. I don't know about your parents, because your parents are boomers too. And even I think about my grandparents, like, they don't need more stuff.
No, they don't need another thing.
No, they have enough stuff. They've had years and years. The older you get, the more years you have to get stuff. And so I think one of the best gifts you can give are things that
it's
are
a trash can, just so you can throw some of this stuff away.
Like, for instance, my grandma and granddaddy, every year I send them 1 to 2 bags of their favorite Starbucks coffee. Because the last thing they need is another tchotchke sitting around in their house that someone's going to have to go through in a couple of years anyway when they pass away.
Like, talk about me going dark. You're like, Grandma, like, I'm not getting anything because you're going to die and I don't want to come clean this out of your house.
My grandma Flores is turning 91 in January.
That
91. Old. So
shout out Grandma Flores.
Yeah. She's those genes, man. Those are some good genes. Only for the women of that family. But may Grandpa Flores rest in peace. But anyway, I will say that, like, I think also just in terms of gift giving things that they will go through. So I always give my grandma and granddaddy coffee because they are too cheap to buy the Starbucks coffee, I think. And so I just literally just mail them coffee. I'm like, there you go.
So. You know what I am, like, my dream gift scenario, like, I don't think this might actually exist. I don't know. This might exist.
I love that we're just still going on this. Are we ever going to get to the next question?
Never. My dream gift scenario is, like, if I could buy people like meals, but like good meals, because I don't want to buy them a gift card to a restaurant, but. Do you do like a DoorDash situation? But then, like, not all food travels well. Like, you gotta time it with them. Like, I don't even know what this would look like. But if there's a way, like, I could have like I think there's like a service called like Goldbelly. Maybe I need to check that out, where you can like send like food from like all over the country, like, to them, like like a pizza from like a deep dish pizza from Chicago, or bagels from New York, like really like unique, like area specific things. Like, maybe I want to switch to that for my gift giving, because to me, if people gave me food, like good food, I would never be mad at that. Like, I think I might like that just as much as cash.
I was gonna say, yeah, you probably would. I will say that I have given people, like, one of my best friends, when for her baby shower, she had so many things. It was her second child. I knew she was getting enough clothes. She had a daughter. It was Amanda. She had a daughter the first time. The next child was a daughter. So she was set. So I just gave her a $200 gift card to a grocery store. I was like, let me buy groceries for you one week. Like, groceries are on me.
What if you could even, like, say, like, you just go in here and pick the groceries, and then it'll notify me, and I'll just pay for it, and boom. Like, if it's, like, to make it so seamless. Because, like, practical stuff like that, I think, make great gifts. Like, I could use this. I need this. And it'll take me some pressure off my budget. Like,
exactly.
I like those type
now,
of gifts.
I will say, whenever Matt and I were paying off debt, we live farther away from my parents, like 5.5 hours. My mom would come up, I don't know, when she would visit, maybe like every other month or something, she would buy our groceries just for that 1 week. And that was always such a blessing. Like I always was so thankful because money was tight, and having someone just take care of your groceries for 1 week, it was such a luxury that I am so thankful for it. I remember feeling like that, and maybe that's why I gave that to my friend Amanda, because I just know like it feels so good to be able to just have a week of not paying for groceries.
Yeah. You know what? This is like the millennial version of like, you know, like older generations, like they would come bring someone a pie or like a dish.
Yes.
Like we're not about to do that, but I will DoorDash some food to your house, or I will get you some Instacart for your groceries. Like,
you're so right. Oh my gosh, you're so right. Because like whenever we got COVID, the very first time when no one was getting it yet, like
when you guys are patient zero.
Yeah, exactly. Like people really, I mean, they brought us some stuff, but they were sending us DoorDash gift cards.
Yeah.
They were like, here, go ahead, take like dinner's on us. Like, but we don't actually want to have anything to do with the dinner.
Yeah.
Because we have our own stuff we're dealing with. So you just go order your own dinner. But wow, that is so true.
See, okay.
Well, I feel like we've definitely covered this topic.
Yeah, I think we've beat this one into the ground. So, but this was good. Thanks, Gina, for sending this over to me. This is I think it sparked a fun conversation. And I guess we should take a break, and then when we come back, we'll get into part 2.
I'm excited about this one.
The break.
Let me drink some water. I'm sorry about Harry barking. Evan came home from soccer.
Oh, I didn't even hear him.
You didn't? Oh my gosh, that's shocking.
I didn't really notice it. Logan said he's going to give out a good Christmas handshake. That's going to be his gift to people.
Don't spread your germs, Logan.
Let's see. Ed said when we were talking about like a cheap gift or no gift, he said no gift at all. He said because I don't like pretending I'm using the bad gift later. Exactly.
That's so true.
Yeah, like I think here's a good thing for, like, for men, like we don't get candles and like stuff like that, so we don't have to like be like, ugh, I don't want this smelly candle. But I'm trying to think what the equivalent is for men. I guess like maybe
beard oil.
Beard oil. I've never gotten beard oil.
You've never gotten beard oil?
Like, no one's given me that as a gift.
Socks.
Yeah. No one randomly give me a sock like socks, but my mom will like do that, like socks. Here's socks and underwear.
Yes, Matt gets a lot of from his parents. He gets a lot of like polo shirts. Like he got one from like their community, like the community his parents live in. Like I'm like, why did they give you this? Matt's like, I don't know. It's a polo shirt. Women get a lot of candles, lotions, blankets, lots of lotions. I'll never say no to a lotion though. I love a good lotion.
But what about if it doesn't do you have to have a specific smell? Like what if they give you some random
I'm
lotion?
not super picky.
No?
I'm really not picky. When it comes to candles, I'm pickier, but I'm not picky about my lotion. I mean, as long as it's not like super watery and runny and like obviously like disgusting.
You know what gas station lotion that's in the back shelf?
Yes. Women get a lot of bath bombs, a lot of like just lots of like self-care. They think that we really need a lot of self-care.
They're like, Allison, I saw you. You looked very ashy, so here's a box of lotion.
You looked really ashy and like you needed to relax. You looked really stressed out. Go rub yourself down with some lotion and have a bath.
Yeah,
maybe do the bath first.
I don't know if there's a man equivalent to this, like of like a random gift that you always get.
Stereotypical gifts for man.
Like if you're a dad, you get the stereotypical gifts, right? You get like a tie, a wallet.
That's true.
You know, socks. But like as a non-parent, I don't think there's anything I get that's like a generic thing that they just assume because I'm a guy, I want this thing.
Yeah. I've gone online and looked. Men are very hard to buy for.
Oh yeah.
Very hard to buy for. So maybe we should just stop buying for y'all.
Yeah, just give me cash. Be so
there you
happy.
go. You know what Matt got for? Do you want to hear what Matt got for Christmas?
From who? From you?
Yeah. Do you want to hear what he requested?
I was gonna say, does he know about this already?
Yeah, we always know. We always like. I'm very big on like, tell me what you want, so I get you something you actually want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want, and he does. So this year for Christmas, Matt got, and I have C list to the right. Okay, here's his list. he picked out, so we do the thing in our family, something to wear, something to read, something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read. And our want is from Santa, and the wear, read, and need are from us, because why should Santa get all the credit? So Matt got a fitted hat. That was his wear. He picked out a book, Killers of the Flower Moon, whatever that is.
There's a movie that just came out. I need to watch that. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so I ordered him the book. That's his read. His need was socks and underwear.
Of course, that's what all men need.
Well, and I told him this. I actually was like, can you choose something else? You should just buy socks and underwear because you need them. And he's like, no. And they're actually going in his STOCKING.
Why are you spelling this?
In case there's any little ears. And
I think all your kids can spell, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm saying like people listening.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay. And then his want, are you ready for this? Is a rucksack.
Is that like a backpack?
It's a backpack with plated weights in it. And so
you can run around and exercise?
It's like for people who are super like in shape and physical and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a backpack with that. So it came in the mail. It is so heavy because it has it's like 45 pounds that I said, I was like, I'm not wrapping this. Like, I'm just gonna, so it's just sitting under the tree in the box that it came in. Cause I was like, I'm like, I can't move the wrapping paper around. Like I can't move it over. I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
It's going to rip it too every time you move it around.
Exactly. Thank you. You would understand.
Oh, I understand.
So I'm going to put a bow on it. But those were Matt's gifts.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And when you have a whole strategy behind this. Logan said he gets Best Buy and BevMo gift cards.
I think just gift cards is the male equivalent.
I think so.
Of candles.
Yeah, just here, take this gift card. Get out of here.
Yeah. So I really think it is. Because, I mean, that's all I get my dad. I got my brother a soccer ball. He sent me a link to a soccer ball he wanted.
Have you seen these like it's these new things where there's like, I guess like computer, there's like chips inside of the ball, and there's like you turn an iPad and face you, and it teaches people how to do drills with like a soccer ball with a basketball because they can track it on the screen with the camera. It's like this whole thing.
That's crazy.
It's getting wild.
I have not heard of that. You know what James tried to do today? He said he went to the library and played with some fancy robot sphere or something. And he was like, I want to get this. Can we look and see how much it is? Because he has some money. So we got home and I looked it up. I was like, whoa, this is $179. And I said, you're not going to get this. And I said, you're not buying this. Like, I'm not buying it for you. I'm not going to let you spend all your money on this thing that like you played with once and you think you like. He said, that's okay. I'll just tell Santa I want it. And I just won't get some of the Santa stuff. Like, I'll just tell Santa I want this instead of the other things he's already asked for. And I said, nope, you can't do that. You already sent your letter to Santa. You're locked in. Like, this, maybe you can ask for this for your birthday if you're still interested in it, which you won't be. But if you are, you can do that. But his solution was just like, oh, no care in the world. Like, duh, it's easy fix, Mom.
He was like, I forgot you were cheap. Let me all ask Santa about this one.
Yeah. And then he was like, I no longer want the Pokemon cards and the portable ping pong set and all these other things he asked for.
Oh, so man. To be a kid during Christmas, that's a special time.
Yes.
Special time of asking.
Okay, Beth Ann says, that's interesting that you do the 4 gifts for the adults as well. I've only seen it for the kids. That's a good idea. We only do the 4 gifts for me and Matt. So I'll share what I got myself, what Matt got me.
What you got yourself?
Yeah, what I got myself. I got this shirt. Let me copy the link and I'll put it in the, I can't put it in the comments.
You put it in the guest chat. You put it in Discord. I'll put it in our live stream chats.
Okay. This is the wear for me that I got. I ordered this shirt off of Etsy. I was very excited about it.
Wait, why did you order from Etsy?
Because this is where I found the shirt.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Right,
it makes me so happy.
I'm pasting this in all the places. You put it in Discord, right? Okay, you throw it in Discord. I'll look at it over here.
Oh, put it in Discord. That makes more sense. I put it in our guest chat.
Okay. Oh, well, you know what?
Okay.
I can put this on the screen too. Let me put this up here.
Yeah. So this is the shirt I asked for my wear.
So why this shirt? As I bring
Because
it up
it's
here.
cute. Because I love it.
Okay, let me see. Here we go.
I love it. And I got it in the heather. I got it in the heather maroon color. So I did not get it in that yucky green color that does not look good on me.
Wow.
I got it in the second. If you go to the second picture, go to the second picture. Because I like cats and I like plants. So I got that. It is super inexpensive. I paid $21 for it.
You missed out. You bought it a little too early.
$8.25 right now.
Seems
I
like you played
legit
yourself.
paid $21 for that. I am super upset. Oh my gosh. And then for my read, I got a cookbook. I got a cookbook that I've been wanting. For my want, I've never had this is very stereotypical, kind of like a candle. I got a diffuser and some oils.
Typical.
So that cost $28. My cookbook was $22. And I really didn't have a need. But the other day when I went to Target, I picked up a cute coffee mug that was $8. And so that's my need.
So you just went shopping. That's what just happened. You just went out and picked up some things for yourself.
This is awkward. No. No. I got a book. I got a shirt. I got what I want. And my need was my coffee mug. I need coffee. So.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to hate on it.
But what I did with my kids was I had them fold a paper in fourths and I wrote, want, need, wear, read. And I gave it to them and I said, you need to make your Christmas list. And it was good because it forced them to think about books they want to buy and things like that.
I can see that.
But then it comes out of your Christmas category and not spending money. See, Beth Ann's on my side here.
She understands
she knows.
it. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
But anyway, fine. And I made Matt make his Christmas list too. So he came up with all those things.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Okay. I'm sorry. We're way off track now.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. We're going to come back from break. I'll bring us back from the break.
Okay.
All right. So we're back from the break and we had an extended Christmas conversation in the break here because, that topic was just too good. We had to keep talking about it. But for our second one here, this one was sent in on our website, and where I said you can make up any name you want, and the name this person chose was Blobert Washington. Blobert Washington with an R, and this was a long one. So Blobert, Mr. and Mrs. Washington. This was an amazing story. I read this whole thing, and it was hilarious, but it would probably take me 5 minutes to read this. So I threw it in the good old Chat GPT and said, can you give me a shorter version of this? So this is what it has. So I'm sorry, this is going to miss some of the humor from the original, but in order to fit it in here, I had to shorten it up a bit. So this is what they wrote. Said, first, I want to say that I appreciate your podcast and I've learned a lot about finance from both of you. Thank you for finding a way to educate people like me. For the context of this story, I am currently a college student living in off-campus housing. There are 5 of us in one apartment and I share a room with one of them. I have been in this apartment and this room for 2 years with no problems. Roommates have come and gone, usually because they got married, but I feel like I have gotten along with them fine enough. I attribute this to the fact that I generally try to be an agreeable person and avoid confrontation or hurting other people's feelings if at all possible. With my new roommate, however, there have been some issues. He snores loudly, disrupting my sleep, and has made insensitive comments about my sleep schedule. His habit of setting multiple alarms also affects my rest. Additionally, he is particular about cleanliness, yet his side of the room is often messy. He insisted I use my own cleaning supplies after I use his to clean the bathroom. In communal areas, he has devised a rule to throw away dishes left in the sink for more than 2 days. Like not put them in somewhere else, like throw them away. They're gonna throw away the dishes, which I find unreasonable and potentially damaging to personal property. My sister thinks he's trying to push me out of the apartment. I'm considering moving to a different apartment or staying with a relative. I'm open to discussing these issues with him, but doubt it will lead to a meaningful resolution. I'm seeking your advice on whether my frustrations are justified and what steps I should take in this situation. Whew. There's a lot going on.
Yes, your frustrations are justified. 1000% they are. I'm sorry. I don't like where you've put your things in the sink. Let me just throw away your dishes.
Just gonna throw them in the trash, which is
Like,
which is wild. Which is wild.
that is like so passive aggressive. This person is the definition of passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, instead of throwing them into, I don't know, the dishwasher, maybe they don't have a dishwasher, but
Oh no, they have a
put them on
dishwasher.
I mean, they do have a dishwasher.
Yeah, I'll give you a little piece of this clarifying information there. He said,
Oh my gosh.
let's see. Oh, here we go. Interesting. Let's see. I will admit that I am the one that cooks most often, and so a portion of the dishes in the sink are usually my own. I do, however, clean everyone's dishes via the dishwasher whenever I do mine. A month or so later, we got a text in the apartment chat. He will put dishes that have been in the sink for 2 days into a bin. Once a week, any dishes in the bin will be thrown away.
Okay, can we just also clarify, like, just I just want to bring up the fact that this person, this roommate, is spending way too much of his mental energy creating processes for things that don't even matter.
A
Like,
system.
now he has to count how many days specific dishes have been in the sink. Now he has to move them to a bin. Now he has to set a reminder for every Thursday at 7 p.m. for it to be dish o'clock, where he throws out everything in the bin. Like, he has created work and chores for himself, really.
This is a lot of effort. Like like you said, the amount of record keeping going into this, just to, I guess, it's almost like a punishment, right? It's like it's like a way a parent would handle like their kids, right? Like, if you don't put these toys away, I'm gonna move them to this box, and if they're not moved from this box in 2 days, then they're going to be donated. Like, that's what this feels like.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you are so right.
Right?
This is like a passive aggressive, like, parenting. Like, he is in charge. He is the boss. You know, and let's talk about his sleep, because I will tell you, I happen to share a bed with someone that also snores. And empathy is one of my strengths. Like, if you've taken the Strengths Finder test, empathy is number 2. I have zero empathy in the middle of the night. And I, like, shove Matt and I say, "You're snoring." He used to get really mad at me because he would say that, oh no, what he would say is, he would say, "In the middle of the night, when you tell me I'm snoring, you're just yelling at me, you're snoring." And I'm like, "But you are." He's like, "I would like it if you would ask me to stop snoring."
You could
So
be polite,
now
Allison.
I shove him and I'm like, "Will you stop snoring?" Like, whatever.
Maybe you should get him a CPAP for Christmas. That should be your gift.
Maybe that's what he needs. But I will say that, like, it is difficult to sleep if you're not used to it, to sleep next to someone who snores.
Yeah. I got to read this piece here, because I said I wasn't going to read this whole thing, but I'm eventually probably going to end up reading this whole thing. But this is the beautiful language that was used to describe the snoring situation. So, late one night, as I'm falling fast asleep, I experience an abrupt and terrifying sensation. Upon waking up, it feels as though the super volcano under Yellowstone has finally erupted, and it is the end of the world. Or perhaps a construction crew just decided to demolish the apartment at this obscene hour. After coming to my senses, I realize what is really going on. My roommate snores like nobody's business. So this is the what they're experiencing. Like, this is some crazy loud noise here, and like, that's the thing. Like, I think I could, at this age, I don't want to have a roommate. But if I had to have one, they're not going to be in the same room as me. Like, that's like, that's too. I get it. Like, you're in college, you're young, you gotta do what you gotta do. Stuff is expensive, but this is one of the reasons why. Because I know I probably snore. I know I snore, and I can't have somebody else. We can't be competing, making noise in the room together. Like, I need my space and distance, and that's a hard thing to especially, like, it's not like a romantic relationship. Like, you're just literally sharing a space, and that is extremely hard to do.
Well, yeah, because then you have even less empathy for them.
Yeah, you're like, I hate this person now. Like, that's what's going to end up happening.
Exactly. The only time I've ever shared a room, because I didn't share a room growing up, and I had a brother, so we had separate rooms, was when I was a freshman in college. And that was the only time I ever shared an actual room, because then by the time I was a sophomore, I was like, no, I'm getting my own room. I was in this off-campus house kind of thing with my own room. And That's hard. Well, number one, it's hard to share a room with someone, especially someone you don't know well, especially someone that you didn't choose. Because
Yeah.
it sounds like this person, they were just kind of assigned to each other. So what do? Just like Ed said, Ed said in the chat over here, that's why they sell earplugs. I can say that I do have to wear earplugs sometimes. I do. If Matt's pretty good about like stopping, like if he rolls over, but last night I know that if I need good sleep, I will have to wear earplugs. And that's what you have to do sometimes, unfortunately.
Which sucks. Like I that sounds horrible to have to do that. But I mean, this is a tough situation this person's in. Mm-hmm. It is hard to live with other people. Especially with all this negative energy this person's bringing into this room.
Okay, so I have a question. This person said, my sister thinks he's trying to push me out of the apartment. Do you think that the roommate's trying to push the writer out of the apartment?
I mean, that wouldn't be my first thought because you know, some people are just annoying. Like, so this person could just be an annoying person, and it may have the effect of making you want to leave, but maybe they're not doing it for that purpose. But I don't know. Like, this person just seems very anal, very particular about what they want going on. They got all these rules. So it should be a new person coming in. So I don't know if that's their goal, but I mean, it could be. Maybe they have a friend who needs a place, and they're like, maybe like give me a couple of weeks, I'll get this other person out of this apartment.
Right.
But that would be my first thought. This person just feels like they want to just be this person. This is who they are, and they're just annoying.
See, that's what I think too. I think this is just the person's personality. I think that this person is just maybe a little more difficult to be around, very particular. Maybe this person has some sort of, I don't know, just very, very, very particular, and also has no issues sharing the way they want it and following through on that, which seems ridiculous to me. But they also said, I'm considering moving to a different apartment or staying with a relative. I'm open to discussing these issues with him, but I doubt it will lead to meaningful resolution. I also doubt it will lead to meaningful resolution.
That's the thing. Like, you hope that you can like work things out with someone, but there are some people you just tell like, this person is not normal and this is not going to go well. Whatever this conversation is. I think it's worth addressing it at least once, right? Before you move out, just see how it goes. And maybe they already have and they just didn't include that in the message. But if you have tried and it didn't work out, then for me, I can't be stressed out at home. Like, that's the problem. Like, I got to be able to relax. But I get it. You're in college, you're young, stuff is expensive. Your options are limited, right? Like, you have to just kind of get in where you can. But I would at least start the process of looking for a new place. That's at the very least, that's what I would be doing. Is like,
that's true.
Planning
my escape. Information.
Yeah.
Gather information.
Yeah, because you don't want to be like paying rent and then like going to sleep in someone else's apartment all the time. Like, that's like, you're just wasting your money at that point.
That's true. And then I would also consider in the future either finding an option where you can have your own room, so you still have this off-campus housing. And I know exactly what they're talking about. They're talking about these things where you go in and you pay for your portion of the room, and if your roommate doesn't pay, it's fine, they're just kicked out. Did you guys have these near you, like where you went to college?
Oh, I commuted to school, so I didn't even stay on campus.
Okay. So I remember I had a friend who lived in one of these places where they went in not knowing any of their roommates. They just put people together.
Which is wild.
So it was 3 rooms. And the benefit is that if your roommate didn't pay rent, well, it's not on you. So instead of renting the entire apartment, you rented the room. And the communal space was part of that. So if your roommate is late on their rent check, doesn't fall on you, they're kicked out, but then some random person is put in.
Is it all through the school?
So the ones I knew about weren't through the school. They were these like private ones. They were specifically for students. Like, things like this are specifically created for students. And I had a friend who, they were in this apartment and had this awful situation with a roommate. The roommate ended up like dropping out of school and not paying rent, and was like doing drugs in the apartment, all these things, and finally like got behind on the rent payments and then got moved out. And it was a stressful situation, and they didn't even share a room. It was a 3-bedroom apartment.
Okay, so yeah, but still, like, it's still annoying to have that person in the apartment.
It is, sure. Absolutely. So I would say moving forward, find an option where you can at least have your own private space, your own private room, or go into it knowing who you're going to room with, someone that you can communicate with, that maybe you do have closer to the same sleeping schedules, and screen them for snoring.
Yeah, I would say, like, start your research now, right? Start scoping out different people who you could potentially live with, because, right, typically, like, these dorms, these living situations, sometimes roll over like year to year, semester to semester. Yeah. Like, you may end up somewhere else. And I would start scouting. Start holding informal interviews with different people. Just get to know them.
Sleepovers for snoring schedules.
Yeah, hang out with these people in the evening, in the morning. Figure out what they're like. Like, figure out if you're annoyed by them. Are they messy? Like, start picking this out, and like have like a little bracket system going, right? You start eliminating people. Oh, no. And in that way, when you're getting close to the end of the semester, you can start putting feelers out there.
Your final 4.
Yeah, get down to your final 4, and then you see who's going to take home the gold, which is you. You are the prize in this situation. You get to be they get to have you as their roommate. And then,
oh my gosh,
because you can in these situations, right? Like, if you have someone else who who also needs housing, you can kind of go in together as a group, right? And like say, okay, we're gonna share this room together, share this space.
Yes.
And I think at least that way you have a little bit of control. Like, it doesn't mean it's gonna be perfect. You may not like this person by the time the school year is up, but at least you gave it a shot, right? With someone who it could potentially work with.
Mm-hmm. At least someone that you knew wouldn't throw away your personal property.
Yeah. Like, do you throw away dirty dishes if someone doesn't clean them? I just want to know.
They're like, oh, you mean paper plates? No, actual dishes.
Real ceramic dishes. Do you throw them in the trash?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That is.
Yeah, this is a wild one. I feel for you, Blobert. But yeah, this is a tough one. But I think you got to prioritize yourself in this situation. Like, even if this person is being a jerk and they are trying to get you to leave, I don't think you want to stay there anyways. Like, if their goal is to kick you out, or if they're just being themselves and it's annoying, it sounds like a situation that you do not want to be in. And even though it puts a lot of work on you, on your plate, to do all the research to find a new place, I think ultimately you're gonna be happier being out of the situation versus trying to gut it out.
Exactly, I agree 100%.
Yeah. All right, I think we covered this one. I think we did this one in a more reasonable time than the last one.
We got a little carried away in the first one.
Just a little bit. But it was fun. It was a good one. But yeah, these were 2 of the awkward stories we had sitting there that I want to make sure we covered in our final episode. Because I didn't want to leave one of these out there hanging. We couldn't pick. So I was like, why not just throw this in one there? They're both have been there together.
Exactly. Let's do both. Yeah. Yes. And thank you for everyone who's listened, everyone who's tuned in, joined us live, joined our Patreon. Thank you for supporting This Is Awkward the past 3 years. It's been a fun journey.
Yeah, this was just, you let us take an idea and throw it out there, and you came to listen to it, and you said a lot of kind words about it. You've shared all your awkward stories with us and things you're loving, and it's been really, I won't say fun again because it is fun, but I'm just using it. It's been fun. It has been a fun project to work on, and to get to talk to so many of you and to hear these awkward stories. And I think you being willing to share your awkward stories have helped a lot of other people too, because we're all dealing with this like random awkwardness, and it's always nice to hear someone else dealing with something that you're going through or you've gone through before.
Exactly. It makes you feel seen. Seen and heard. That's what we're doing here.
Exactly. This is a public service, actually. So I guess that's it. We're at the end of the episode, the end of This Is Awkward. Anything else you want to throw out there, Allison? Anything else you want to add?
No, I guess we should just say that if you don't know already, Chris and I also have.
I was thinking too, like if people still have awkward stories that they want to send in, like if you have something, I'm actually working on some new stuff for Popcorn Finance in the new year. So if you have an awkward story, send it over. I'm more than happy about to cover an awkward story over there as well. If you want to send that my way, and relive some of the old This Is Awkward glory days.
Exactly. I love it.
Yeah, so I guess we'll get out of here. We're going to go record our final Patreon episode after this. But no, it's been fun.
It has been fun. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Yeah. We'll come join us in other places, and we'll see you over there.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see you on gosh, Instagram. Do you have YouTube?
Yeah, I got YouTube. That's what we're streaming this right now.
Oh, okay. YouTube. I don't have YouTube. Well, I do, but I don't do anything on it. Instagram, podcasts, websites. We both have websites.
Yeah,
So
inspired.com, inspiredbudget.com, popcornfinance.com. That's where you can go find us.
Awesome. We'll see you there.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Patreon.
All right. Okay, let's just jump into it. We'll jump right into our Patreon episodes. All right. Oh, there's Ed's conversation. There we go. Get that out there.
I was real confused.
Welcome to the final Patreon episode of This Is Awkward.
Yes, and we have a couple of things to talk about. First off, are we allowed to say who sent this in?
Yeah, you can say the first one.
Be anonymous.
That's it. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, the first one you can say. The second one is anonymous.
Okay, so Beth Ann sent in a story. I think this is something from Reddit.
Yes, I believe so.
That she wanted us to address. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to pull it over here. Let me increase the size. Okay, got it. Okay, I, a 24 male, and my wife, 24 female, are newlywed couples. Well, couple. My wife has 4 friends who she has been really close with since high school. For a celebration, my wife decided to go to an expensive steakhouse. The day comes and we go in separate cars there. We all eat and my wife slides the bill, $700 plus, like cost more than $700, and proceeds to say, oh, the man should always pay for the wife and her friends. I laugh awkwardly, saying, why? She says, because you're the man. I tell her that the only other person I would pay for would be you and me. Her friends proceeded to laugh at me, calling me a broke husband. I stand up and put 2 $100 bills for me and my wife's food and leave. My wife gets home and starts screaming at me, saying I made her feel embarrassed, how she promised her friends I'd pay, and that her friends made fun of her on the ride home for marrying a man who can't pay the bill. I decided to pack a bag and head to my friend's house. I told my parents / friends, and they say I should have.
For anyone, like any person, doesn't matter if you're the husband, the wife, friend, whatever it is, like for someone to just assume that you're going to, without telling you in advance, that you're going to pay for everyone, and it's $700. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done in this situation. How I would have responded.
Oh man, I also think that the writer is not in the wrong here. I am like, okay. First off, I think that it's really. Logan says friendship over. They're married, Logan. They're not just friends, they're married. I would say that number one, I think it's silly that she says, oh, the man should always pays for the wife and her friends. I call BS on that. I think that is stupid. I think that is playing into this narrative of like men always holding the power kind of in things by financially speaking in this case. And I mean, I know that women, we don't like unrealistic expectations set on us, yet she is turning around and setting unrealistic expectations on him. I cannot imagine this.
This is wild. Like the audacity is a word that just pops into my mind when I saw this. Like this just takes a lot. And look, I know not all situations are like this, not all relationships are like this, but to me, when you're like in a relationship with someone, even if it's just like a good friendship, like it feels like you already kind of communicate with each other at least a little bit, right? Like you already know this person, you know what's expected in these different situations. And for you to just throw this at someone is so rude. Just be like, well, here's the bill. Like just to slide the bill over casually. Here you go. This is for you.
It's almost like it was premeditated. That's what this sounds like.
Yeah, she knew. He just did. He was the only one that didn't know.
Premeditated of, I'm going to see what he says. Like, it's one thing if you're like, oh, I forgot to tell you that. Like, no, she intentionally chose not to tell him. She wanted to see his reaction at dinner, and his reaction was not what she liked. And so she threw a little fit. And then her friends don't sound very supportive. And then they made fun of her as if her husband's reaction has anything to do with her. Number one, what your partner or spouse does is not necessarily a reflection on you. So if my husband goes off on road rage, if we're driving and he has road rage, they can't look at me, the passenger, and blame me. That's his issue, not mine. I mean, I'm not saying my husband has road rage. It's just an easy example. But I think that is ridiculous. I also want to say that no matter how much money you make, now, obviously, if you're making like $1 million or $5 million a year, like $700 is nothing, right? But even when you make good money, $700 is a lot of money to just drop, not knowing you're going to have to drop it. Yeah.
Yeah. This person, the wife, is clearly trying to like portray maybe this like type of relationship with her husband. That's what it feels like. Like, you ever have like a friend and like, you know them, you hang out, and then you go hang out with that friend when they're with their other friends and they're like a different person. That's what this feels like. It's like, I'm like, who are you? Like, what do you, why are you doing this to me? Like, you never talked like this before. And it feels like she's really trying to like impress these friends or be like, oh, look, he's going to pay for this. He'll take care of this. Don't worry. He's got it. Like, that's just wild. That's so crazy to do to somebody.
I think it sounds entitled and snobby.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think. Like, that's my immediate thing. And then I'm like, obviously it's true because your friends laughed at you afterwards and made fun of him. So they're also entitled and snobby. Like, I'm sorry. Not everyone. Oh, I need to stop because I'm just like, not everyone can go to private school or, just have everything handed to them. And like, that's what this is like. This is giving just like total, like, 1%, upper one. No, I mean, is it not? It's almost like, have you seen, I've only seen this on movies where people will do like, they'll go to this big dinner and then they'll play like that credit card roulette where they just like,
I've heard about people doing this.
Yes. And it's just like, you just throw down your card or you somehow decide who's going to pay it. And they don't know that they're like, that is pure, like, money is an object. I'm so rich. This is not an issue. And I expect everyone to be able to do the same thing as me.
Like, I don't even like going to a restaurant with a bunch of people and then they're like, oh, we'll just split it evenly. I'm like, no, like in my head, I'm like, no, why? Like, I didn't get the same thing you got. Like, why are we splitting this evenly? Like, I get it's easier, but is that same?
You've told us about this with Logan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, Logan tried to make me pay for his beers. I'm not paying for 3 of his beers. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I am not about this. I would be furious. I think he has a right to be upset. I don't think he should have packed his bag. I'll just say, like, I think when you're a newlywed, you shouldn't like leave. I mean, unless someone's in like danger or something, in which case you probably shouldn't be married. But
I saw Logan's comment. He said, those beers were delicious. I bet they were because I paid for them. Never again.
But I will say, like, I'm sure maybe he shouldn't have left, but it sounds like maybe her emotions were heightened after getting, made fun of by her friends. But this is ridiculous.
Yeah, this really feels, this feels like a very immature person. I mean, they're both 24. That's very young. I mean, it feels like it's too old to be doing this, but it's still on the younger side. 24.
You're 24. Why are you spending $700 on a meal with all your friends? That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Even just $200 for each people. I mean, even if it's $100 a person, that's expensive for someone who's 24 years old.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder. It didn't say how many of her friends were there, right? I think it just says her friends.
No, but he said he put $200 down for him and his wife. So I'm assuming 7 people at the table, $700. No, absolutely not.
They're spending way too much money.
No, that you could make some serious progress on your student loan debt. You send it instead of going out on these meals.
Yeah.
But my God.
I remember being younger and you want to like impress people, right? You don't want to look broke. You want to look like you got your life together. But this is too far. Like I don't think I've ever seen a food bill that high before. Like I'm trying to think like going with a group of people, what's the highest I've ever seen on a receipt? Like I've seen like several $100s. Like if you have like a group of people and it's like, $300 or $400 like that. To me, I'm still like, what just happened? But like a $700 bill, they were eating good and she put them on the spot, and you can't put people on the spot like that.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool. She can't do that because that's also just making him look bad. No, this is, and I'm kind of annoyed that his parents and friends said he should have paid it. I'm actually proud of him for standing and like holding his ground, because the way I see it is this was a test in the marriage,
it was a sure test.
I mean, like, an expensive test, but it was a test and he passed. And it's, he can't just bow down and just do anything that she says in this kind of case. Like, and this is the way of doing it. Like, this is the way of saying that. Of like, no, there have to be boundaries. How about that? There have to be boundaries. And there were clearly no boundaries because she didn't even warn him this was happening.
No, I'm curious. Like, let's just say, like, I know you can't put yourself in this person's shoes, but I wonder, like, say you were this man and you were at this table and this happened to you. How would you react? What would you do?
Okay, so I will say that there have been times when Matt and I have gone out with friends, and especially as money has become not as difficult, as we don't have any debt other than our mortgage, and as we've increased our income, there have been times we've taken people out that we know aren't in the same kind of level as us, and we decide to pay for the bill. We say we want to treat. We don't tell them beforehand, right? We're not like, we're going to buy this meal or anything. Like, we just say, no, we invited you. It's really we're happy to do this. Now, there have been times whenever we have gone out and Matt will like send me a text message while we're at the dinner, just being like, is it okay? Like, I really want to pay for this whole meal. Is that okay with you? Because it's when you're doing something like that, it's usually multiple hundreds of dollars, and I'll write back yes or no or whatever. So I get some sort of heads up, right? And it's doing it in a way of like out of kindness, not out of like surprise attack.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like. This feels like a surprise attack. So honestly, if it was a surprise attack like this, I probably would have been so caught off guard. I probably would have paid it. I probably would have been so caught off guard that I would have been like, okay, fine. Like, just to avoid it, just to be like, I need to get myself out of this situation. Yeah. I'm just going to pay it. Like, that's my honest answer. Like, how I really think I would be. I think I would just pay it. But I would be pissed. So that's why I think I'm so proud of him for being like, no, this is ridiculous. Like, because I don't know if in that moment I would have had the words to say that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to like pile if I was put on the spot, I think I would have just caved.
Yeah. Oh man.
What about you?
I think I might have been I might have a similar reaction because like you're so on the spot. I don't know if I have the guts to do one. I wouldn't have cash to put on the table to walk out there with. But I think I'm surprised too. Like for two 24-year-olds to have cash. Like why did you just have money in his pocket?
Well, you were put on the spot with Logan and you paid for those beers.
You know what? Yeah, I did. I didn't even think about it. I just split it, and then finally it dawned on me. And this is what I did. Well, you know what? I'll use that scenario again. So it hit me because first this is the progression, right? So first I realized I'm getting like a water, and then he's getting like 2 beers that are like $8, $10, $12 each. And then I started to realize, I'm paying more than I should. So then if we ordered a beer, I was like, well, I'm going to order a soda. I'm going to order like, instead of water, I'm going to get a soda. But that's still not enough. That was like, $4 compared to $20. So then it hit, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be shy about this. I'm just gonna break out my app and be like, okay, let me just divide this up real quick. I would split it up by item. But like that was a completely different set of circumstances than this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was able to address it in that situation. But I know him very well. We've known each other for years, and a lot different if like you're in like a romantic situation, or if you're with friends you don't know as well. Like the nerves kind of kick in. You don't want to look cheap on the spot. And yeah, I might have just paid it, just feeling out of obligation, just like,
especially since it's his wife, newlywed wife. Like I can guarantee you, I pretty much would have done it because I would have been so flustered that at that moment I would have just been like, okay, let me just get myself out of this situation instead of standing up for what is right and having the time to process that and then have the words to say that and make the point. I think that that's wonderful that he was able to do that. I do not think it makes him a jerk. I think that it makes him really self-aware as long as he did so in a respectful way.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. And I think why this situation is so hard for me to kind of like put myself in this position is because I don't think I would be hanging out with people like this. I don't think that I would be in a situation where I'm at dinner with a person who would assume that they can just hand me this bill for everyone's food and I'm going to pay it. I've never hung around people like that. So for me, I'm like, this is so wild. Like I would never do that.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever been around people like that either. Like I said, if Matt and I have done that, it's for these like particular friends that we're with that we kind of see every year. And we usually agree to, like, Matt and I agree on our own to treat them to one meal, like to one big, nice dinner where we pay for everyone because we want to, because we enjoy that, because it's a decision we both make. I will say that last year, Matt went on a conference. He went to a conference and he went out drinking multiple nights with all of these people. And he called me the next day and he was like, got a little carried away last night. I was like, what did you do? And he said, because, he's a contract employee for me, or maybe it wasn't even that. I don't know. He said that he bought a round of drinks for everyone and then a round of shots for everyone that they were with. And it was like 10 to 12 people. And he said he yelled out, "It's on Allison."
Oh man.
And everyone was like excited and cheered. And I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. Like he called me, he's like, this is what I did. I was like, I kind of like that. Like I kind of like, okay, I'm fine with that. If that's what you did, that's okay. Like we have the money, but let's not make this a habit.
He's out there party. He's living it up. I was listening to like Beth Ann in Discord. She put, I didn't even have $200 for dinner at the age of 24. Like, no.
At the age of 24, I had $200 in my savings account, and I thought that was good. That's it. That was my savings account goal. My goal was to have $200 in my savings account, which meant I had to work my way up to it.
Yeah, it was like this took several paychecks to get to $200 in a savings account. I don't know about you.
A different group of people that you and I are familiar with.
I want to know, like, for you, what was considered like, oh, we're going out for like a pretty good meal? Because I remember for me, like in my early 20s, it being like being like 21, 22, like, oh, we went to Olive Garden and got like the tour of Italy at Olive Garden. I get lasagna, chicken Alfredo, and chicken Parmesan. Man, this is ridiculous. This is wild. I'm living it up.
Okay, so mine would probably be Cheddar's.
What in the world is Cheddar's? Why do you have these random places?
It's basically like an American Olive Garden. It's like a Chili's. I think it might be like better than a Chili's.
What is an American Olive Garden?
It's kind of like fancy, right? Like Olive Garden's fancy. So it's like a little bit of a fancier Chili's, I think. It is.
Okay, what makes it fancier than the Chili's? I want to know, like, what details class this place up.
I think maybe like the dishes are like $1 more.
Oh, it's just more expensive.
But I would say probably something like that. Or, I mean, I don't know. We didn't go out to eat a lot at all. You know what felt really luxurious at that age was going to like an Alamo Draft House or a Studio Movie Grill.
So we didn't have those for years out here. Like it took forever for us to get that type of movie theater out here.
Okay. So I remember we had Studio Movie Grill whenever Matt and I were dating. And we were dating when I was like 23, 24. 24 is when I got married. And I remember it being like, oh my gosh, we're going to dinner and a movie. We're like, basically you just don't have to talk to each other, right? Like, like the ultimate married couple date. Let me go sit somewhere and be entertained and not have to talk to you. But It was just like, it felt so fancy, right? Because they didn't have all these other like recliner seats in the other movie theaters. It was only in these special ones. So I would say that felt like upscale to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I can for sure see that. Logan dropped Maggiano's in here, which I put him on the Maggiano's. Do you have those in Texas?
That is really fancy. I couldn't afford that at 23, 24. A Maggiano's, oh no.
Wait, hold on.
That
okay,
is
so
real fancy compared to Olive Garden.
So I didn't learn about these until I was probably in my, I guess like late 20s, like probably my mid 20s, like mid to late 20s. Mm-hmm. And because I was in training, I was working for a bank and I was in training, and it was by a Maggiano's. And Maggiano's, we don't have those. It's basically, it's an Italian restaurant, but it feels so fancy. Like the inside is like so well designed. Like there's like actual tablecloths on your tables, little candles with little oil and balsamic vinegar going on over there. Like, it was very nice, but it was like it was still very affordable though, because it was, you would get like buy an entree and you get one free to take with you, because it was like it'd be like $20, but you're getting like 2 meals, so you can justify it. It's like, this is really $10 a meal right here. But that felt fancy. I was like, oh, this is fine dining.
Maggiano's is fancy. There used to be this Italian restaurant where they would draw on the tablecloth. It was a paper tablecloth. I don't remember what it was called.
Is it Buca di Beppo? I used to go there. Do you have those?
We do, but isn't that like more family style?
Yeah, that is family style.
Yeah, it wasn't family style. But I remember being like, oh my gosh, this is so, so fancy. But it was probably like similar to a Maggiano's. But, anywhere where the lighting is just a little bit dim.
Yeah, it's a little dim. We got candles going in there.
And oh my gosh, tablecloths. Like, that's also how I felt about Carrabba's. I felt like Carrabba's was so fancy.
I don't think I've ever even been to a Carrabba's.
It's not great. I mean, it's great. It's good, but it's not, it's I don't know. It's interesting, but I remember and I went on a date in college and the guy brought me to Chili's. Like, I remember that being like a first date.
Oh yeah, Fridays,
Yeah. Matt took me on our first date. We went to a local Italian restaurant, like a family owned. So it was kind of like not as nice as a Maggiano's, but one of those places like you can only come here. It's this one place that's been around for 80 years kind of thing. But it wasn't like fancy or anything. So
yeah, this is a complete tangent, but I feel like, I mean, everything we've recorded tonight has been a complete tangent. But the I'm not culture around food, that's too dramatic, but like the way we think about eating out now, I feel is a lot different than when we were younger, right? I feels like there's so many more places to eat now. Like there's all these restaurants, there's all these different like one-off spots, like fancy places, little curbside places, where it feels like growing up, at least for me, and even living in Southern California, there weren't a lot of different places to go eat. Like there were places, but it was, you had your like chain places, and then you had like your really fancy ones, but it feels like eating out now is a much bigger deal, or like a much more common like decision process now than it was growing up.
Okay. So I thought that it's more common. Okay. So here's my experience with eating out as a child. We didn't have a lot of money. We never ate out. Like going to McDonald's was a treat. We would like that was a big treat, was going to McDonald's when I was a child. When I was in high school, a big treat was ordering Domino's. Like that was a big treat, a Friday night where we could order Domino's. And then when I was late high school, we would sometimes go to Pappasito's, which is a Houston-based thing. It's actually where we went last night after the Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert. But it's not like, it's nice Mexican food and like so delicious, and it's expensive. I think it's expensive.
Okay, what is it? Like, what's the price range on that? I just gotta ask.
Okay, so I saw what my mom paid last night. So last night there were 7 of us.
Okay.
Now I shared a fajita meal with one of my children, and Matt shared a fajita meal with another one of the children. So like we kind of got 2 meals, and it was $312 before tip.
That's not bad for 7 people.
Yeah. So it was,
it's not cheap, though. I get what you're saying.
Now there's no like I think one person ordered one alcoholic beverage, but like I had water, my kids had water, my mom had water, Matt had like a sweet tea. So it was also like, and then we also ordered appetizers, but that was expensive to us. And it is cheaper than $700, yes. But I will say that like growing up, we didn't go out to restaurants.
No,
my
never.
mom cooked dinner every single night. Like that was what we had. And I feel bad because like we ordered Potbellies tonight for dinner because we were just so tired.
Potbellies.
Do you know what?
I don't even know what that is.
You know, it sounds very Southern though, doesn't
Potbellies.
It sounds so Southern.
Yeah, I can tell you there are no. I've never seen a Potbelly in Southern California.
Are you sure? I think you should look up where these are.
I don't even tell me what this food is. I need to just bring this up and see. Let me see.
No, you tell me what you think it is. Don't pull anything up yet. You guess what you think Potbellies is.
I mean, instantly I think it must be barbecue, right? Like it has to be some type of like ribs or some pulled pork, like some pork chop. I don't know what. Like it feels like it's something barbecue related, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of pork involved. Is that not what it is?
No.
Okay, can I look it up now? Okay, here.
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna bring this window back up again. Button. All right, here's your Etsy shirt. While I look this up, is it like this Potbelly?
There you go, Potbelly.
Okay, Potbelly. What is this? Get a free sandwich. Okay, I'm gonna go to their main website. Potbelly. All right, I'm gonna explain this for those of you who can't see this. All right, it's loading. It's heating up. That's their loading menu. All right, Potbellies. Get a free sandwich. Okay, I don't know what this is. Is this a sandwich place? Yes. It's a sandwich shop. This is not at all what I thought this was going to be. They have sandwiches, chili, and an apple walnut salad's a favorite. This is just a sandwich place. This is Quiznos. This is
it's just a sandwich
Jersey
place
Mike's.
It's a Jersey Mike's with a little more options. That's it. There are no shops in California. I just looked.
Yeah, I've never seen this before. Beth Ann said she saw one in New York. And yeah, Logan said, yeah, Texas has some unique names for restaurants and stores. They do, because this is random.
We got Buc-ee's, Potbellies.
Okay, that Potbellies kind of reminds me of a place here called Ike's Sandwiches. Okay. It looks kind of like this.
But it has like sandwiches, but it also has salads and it has soups and they do milkshakes. And anyway, my oldest son loves it. And when Matt came home from school, I mean, he looked exhausted. He's been doing so much stuff at elementary school at this time of the year. It's our last week of school of the kids. Like they don't even have a full week this week. Like it's just absolute chaos. And he was like not even getting up. I was like, do you want to make dinner tonight or should we just order something? And
head on over to Potbellies.
Yeah. And my oldest son was like, I'll order us something on Potbellies. I have the app. It's dangerous. He has the app with my husband's credit card information.
Oh, that is real dangerous.
Yes. He has a limit though for what he can spend when he goes, but he loves it. So I was like, fine, just order Potbellies.
Yeah, we wouldn't go out that often. We would eat fast food growing up. Like, McDonald's was like a big thing. Or
but how often? How often would you eat it?
I don't even know. It's hard to remember the frequency. It wasn't like daily or anything like that. It still felt like special, but we would eat it, probably a couple times a month. We would eat like fast food. We would have like
we would have fast food.
Taco Bell.
We would have fast food like once every 3 months. Like we would never eat fast food. And we would only eat fast food when we were driving to Louisiana to see my grandma. And we would stop, and that was our halfway stopping point. And we would get McDonald's. Like that was pretty much it. My family was intense.
We would go occasionally. Like with my dad, like he liked McDonald's. He would always get like filet of fish. And then at McDonald's, filet of fish was this thing. Filet of fish, and we would get, I don't know if you had these bucket of fries, which is basically just a gigantic cup full of fries.
They still have them.
They still do bucket of fries?
Yeah. I'll get like a 30 count nuggets and a bucket of fries.
I didn't know they still had bucket of fries. It's not on the menu anymore.
It's like a basket of fries.
It's like is it a secret menu now at McDonald's, a bucket of fries?
It's like a basket. It's like a basket of fries.
They give you an actual basket?
It's think of like Okay, think of like a like what the chicken nuggets comes in,
Oh, the
like
little,
that thing that closes, but
yeah.
no top. Just the cardboard basket.
This feels like a Texas thing. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, well, we get it often.
Yeah, I don't because we used to have like it was like the largest cup you could think of, just full of fries. They would just pour fries in it, just be full out the top, and that
No,
would be their bucket of
no.
fries.
Ours is like a big basket of fries.
That's
So when
it.
my husband takes the kids to McDonald's, that's what he gets. He gets like a 30 count nuggets and a basket of fries.
Logan said, "I think
For
that's
all the
outlawed
salt.
outlawed in California due to all the salt content." They're like, you know what?
Okay,
We're gonna protect you from yourselves. You cannot order this in
no,
California.
not in Texas. They're like, how can we distribute the salt better? Don't put it in a bucket, put it in a basket. We can spread it out more.
Basket of
So,
fries. Okay, learn something new. All right.
yeah.
Well, I guess okay. See, this story took us on. We're not even talking about the story anymore, but let's
Well,
how about we move? What were
that's
you gonna
on
say?
brand for us, though, right?
It is very much on brand. But thank you, Beth Ann. Beth Ann, who's here with us now. Thank you for sending that one in. I think that led to some good conversation there. Um,
Yes.
this last one here, it's from an anonymous person. We're keeping it quiet here on who this came from. But this is what they said. Dear Chris and Allison, I recently found out that my boyfriend is behind on all his utility payments at his apartment, and that is why he has been wanting to stay at my place so much. To say I am mad is an understatement. I thought he wanted to spend time with me, only to find out he just wanted to have access to running water and electricity. What should I do? And this is from soon to be single. So, Allison, take it away. What are your thoughts?
I mean, okay, a couple of things. Number one, he's obviously not being honest with you and communicating, because then he would tell you, I'm coming over because I don't have running water or electricity. That's number one.
Mm,
Number two, I think this is like kind of a case by case situation. For example, let's say you lost your job because times are hard
mm,
and
yeah,
everything's gone up in price and you don't have money and you've let your utilities slide. That's very different than I just haven't paid the bills because I'm so disorganized and I don't have my life in order. Two
yeah,
totally different situations there. So I'm leaning towards this is the I don't have my life in order. I just didn't pay my utility payments. And that's what I'm guessing
mm,
it is. I'm just going to assume that. And if that's the case, I would say if he can't get his freaking utility payments in order, like, think if you gave him any more, like, if you gave him more responsibilities, like paying a rent payment or mortgage, or I don't know, taking care of a child or an animal, that is just not going to work out. Someone's not going to get fed, right? Like
yeah.
something's going to happen. A oil change is not going to happen. Like things are going to fall apart for this person. So I would say this is a foreshadowing of a foreshadowing of what you can expect in the future if you continue to be around this person.
Yeah, and here's the thing. People can go through some rough situations, some difficult situations. And so we're not shaming this person for being in a place where it's like, man, I can't cover my utilities. But that doesn't
No.
mean you need to be in a relationship with this person. Like you could feel for someone, but you don't have to date this person because it's like, you know what? It's like I may have like minimums, right? Like yeah, you could have minimum standards and say, look, this person is great, they're a kind person, but one of my minimums is that they can cover their utilities because I'm not
They
looking to
take
take
their own
care.
shower.
Yeah, and I think
My
that's
minimum,
fair.
they can shower, they can they can cook in the dark. They can or no, not the dark. Hold on.
They don't have to cook in the dark.
Don't have to cook in the dark. Thank you.
You're like Alice is like, I just want someone with really good eyesight. I want them to be able to cook pitch black.
No, see, okay, but I will say when I was saying I feel mean now because I'm assuming that this person just got behind on utility payments and
Because they're irresponsible.
because
You're like this.
because they're just not don't have their act together, right?
Yeah,
Like they just continued, they've just received the notices, maybe they have the money and they're just like, meh, and just oh, I'll just go to Christina's house to take a shower. I did that because your name's Chris. Get it?
Oh, I got it, Allison.
Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, also just there are times whenever life is hard. I mean, people lose jobs. I remember growing up, like my dad was out of a job for like 6 months, right? And he ended up having to go work at Target like at night to just be able to bring in some money because his unemployment had finished and he was still looking for jobs and couldn't find anything. And it was just a rough patch. People go through rough patches,
Yeah.
but it's what you do during that rough patch and that really shows who you are as, I think, like shows your character and really your goals. And so what he's doing, even if this is a rough patch, is choosing to lie to you and make you think that he's there because he wants to be with you, but really he's just using you.
He's like, I just really miss you. But you might have to take a quick shower.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like you're in this case, like if they're in a relationship with this person, like you were complete strangers before, right? Like you didn't know each other. You had no familial relationship. Well, I hope not if you're dating. You weren't related to each other. You don't know each other. So in that situation, like you're not like obligated to like go outside and find someone who needs a place to be and like invite them inside of your house. Like you don't have to do that. So I think in this situation, this relationship, like you can be like, you know what, this isn't doing it for me. Like this is not, you're not in a position right now. Like maybe this shouldn't be your focus. Your focus shouldn't be on dating me right now. It should be just, you just work on your stuff right now. You got a lot of things going on. This is not a good fit. You just,
Wow, look, Chris is so good at breaking up with this imaginary person. He has all the words. If you need to break up with someone, send Chris your situation. He'll write a script for you.
I'll call them for you. I will call them for you, and I will break up for. And then they'll be so confused because some random guy they've never heard from is breaking up with them.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. Put it back on them. Yeah. You're not in the position right now.
This isn't a good time for you. So let's just go ahead and say this is not going to work right now. Because if not, like you said, this could just get worse. Like it could just be them forever just being like, well, I got a warm place to stay, got utilities. They don't seem to care. I'm just going to stick it out.
Exactly.
This is my new home now.
This sounds like someone who is very codependent on others.
But also it could be a little bit of shame, right? It could be some shame. Like maybe this person, like if they hit a rough patch and they're just like, I can't bring myself to tell this person I don't have the money to cover my utilities right now. It could also be that. So I don't want to eliminate that as a possibility.
Yeah. So we're assuming that's not the case here. And because if it is the case, I think that you handle the situation completely different. Like,
but here's the thing. Like if say this is a new, I think it's different depending on if this is a new relationship or an old relationship. If this is brand new, I don't think you're under any obligation to continue the relationship just because this person is struggling financially. Versus you were together for 5 years and they hit a rough spot. True. I think that's a little bit different. Like then you'd be almost like, I understand because hopefully you know this person at this point, and like I get maybe you were embarrassed and you didn't want to tell me. Like I would take that a lot differently than I just met this person and all of a sudden I find out they're just using me for utilities. That's a whole different. That's a whole different reaction.
Okay, that's fair. So it depends is what we're saying. But Chris says, no matter what, if it's a new relationship, whether or not they are just not paying attention to their bills and don't care, break up with them. Or if it's a new relationship and they're just out on their luck, break up with them. That's what Chris is saying.
It's I guess so.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say that if I was like, when I was in my 20s, if there was someone that could not pay for their utilities, like I think that would be a red flag. I think it's a red flag.
Yeah, it is. Like if it's a friend, if Logan came to me and said, act like you want to hang out with me, and then I found out it's because his utilities are off, I wouldn't be like, you're not my friend anymore. I'm like, yeah, man, I get it. Come on over whenever you need. Like it would be like that. But we're not dating, so there's a big difference between a friend and someone you're trying to be like in a romantic relationship with. That's
exactly
two completely different things.
I agree 100%. But oh man, whoever knew that someone would want to date like. It just feels sneaky, It does. It feels icky.
It all depends on the intention, right? It depends on if they were what their intentions were, and if it was just shame and embarrassment, I get it. But if it was just like, I've figured a loophole, then no.
Why I could go months without turning on my water and electricity because I've got this. Why would I reconnect that?
They're out there. They're like a social media influencer. Life hack: how to get free utilities. Then we got problems. Like then this is
oh my gosh,
something's got to change.
It's like extreme couponing gone to like just really, really extreme.
Yeah, like they've gone too far. You've crossed the line at this point. That's what you're doing to me.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that was our last one. But now, okay, look, now that we're here, I have to ask you this. I think we have to end it on this note. A what I'm loving note, Allison. I want to hear, because we've not done this in a very long time. I feel like this is the only appropriate way to end this with a what I'm loving segment.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm loving. And I actually thought about this today because I wasn't sure if we were going to talk about this. And I thought, is he going to make fun of me?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
So, it is this show on Netflix.
Oh, no.
Called School Spirits.
Oh, no, I don't even. Oh, my God. Do I even look this up?
No, don't look it up yet. I want you to guess. Okay,
what
wait, let me
is?
double check this out. Yeah, I want you to guess what it's about.
Okay,
hold on, because I binged it. I'm like proud and embarrassed that I did this. I will tell you that it is number 8 right now on top 10 TV shows in the USA, but it's called School Spirits. Go.
I've seen the top 10 list on Netflix. It does not mean the show is good. Just clicks on that list.
Okay, tell me what you think it's about.
Okay, this is what I think
it's about. Don't look it up yet.
I'm not looking it up. I've not even opened up a tab to search for it. So here's what I think it's about. Okay. So there was this, it's set in a high school, and the show opens in the 1950s, right? And there's this group of kids, and they're cheerleaders, these girls, and like they're super popular, and they're really like mean to other people because they think they're so much better than everybody. And one of the girls during a football game gets struck by lightning, and she dies on the field, dead.
Oh my
gone.
gosh!
And it's really sad. It's like really somber, right? And then they have like memorial service for her. Family moves on. Fast forward 2023, we open up back on the school, same school, just different time, 73 years later, and you open up on the football field, and there's these cheerleaders practicing, and one of them hears something, like something weird happens. One of the pom-poms moves on the field, and they're like, "Did you see that?" And they're like, "What are you talking about? You're crazy." So then later on that day, that same girl, she goes to the locker room, and she hears a noise, and she turns a corner, and she sees that dead cheerleader who got struck by lightning still in her same 1950s cheerleader outfit, and she's like, "You can see me?" And this opens up School Spirit. It means two things. It's both school spirit, as in like the pep rally for like the football team for showing our school spirit because of cheerleaders, and also this is a spirit who lives in the school. School Spirit.
Oh my gosh!
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I loved it. You're not wrong,
oh, no.
but you're also not right.
Okay, I'm interested. I want to know, how am I both wrong and right?
So it takes place in a high school, just like you said it would. And this girl dies. Okay, so she's actually murdered on the at the high school. It's this high school that was built in like the 50s or something. And when she, yeah, I know, or like the 60s or something like that. And when she dies, she realizes that she is stuck in this high school with all the other people that have died at this high school. So other students from different times.
Why are so many people dying at this school?
I was wondering the same thing. Like one of them is like the bus for band was coming back, and it like crashed on the like at the bus stop, and like 6 kids died. And so they're all in like their band uniforms, like going in a circle playing their music. So they just live there essentially. And so this girl can't remember how she died. And so she is, but while she's there, you can see everything going on. So you are the ghost, you're the school spirit, but like everything like is still happening in real time. So some of these people have been there since the 60s, and they like just know what's going on every year with all these teachers and everything. And so she goes on this, 8-episode journey of trying to figure out who murdered her and what happened. And the storylines of these ghosts are shared, and it is so good. And it is a total twist. Like, it is, I think you would like it. I'm just going to say, I want you to try it.
I think I just wrote this show. I don't need to see it. I already know.
No,
I wrote this show right now.
No,
I need my royalties off of this show. Because clearly I already know the premise.
No, you do not know the premise. I can guarantee you that. So I watched it. And so it says, unconvinced she's dead, an invisible Maddie searches for clues to her disappearance and encounters other teenage ghosts trapped at her high school. I mean, even at the end of the first episode, I was like, it is really good. It's really good.
I honestly can't even trust you, Allison. I cannot trust you based off of your previous recommendations.
I think you should. Is there a way to like see ratings of it, like people that have rated it? But I don't want you getting any spoilers because I think you're gonna watch it.
All right, let me find it here.
I even included a little note about it in my newsletter I'm sending out on Thursday.
School Spirit, Netflix. Let's see. I'm gonna bring this up.
But I don't want any spoilers for the people listening.
Could I possibly spoil this?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Oh, there's all these videos. End of School Spirit explained. Okay, I won't look.
Exactly.
But let me go on. I'll go on IMDb. How about that? There won't be any spoilers there.
Will they have ratings for it?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to maybe Metacritic has a rating.
What's this? You're naming all these.
Oh, websites you never heard of? All right, let's see.
What does it say?
School Spirit. Do you see it? It's School Spirits.
Yes.
Okay.
School Spirits. That's what I said. School Spirits.
Oh, this is a Paramount Plus original, is what it says.
Yes.
You said it was on Netflix. Is it on Netflix too?
It is on Netflix.
It is a 7.6 out of 10.
See, that's not bad. I'm telling you, you would like it. Like, I kid you not, you would like it.
I highly doubt I would like this, Allison.
No, I really think you would. Remember how you liked the After Party? You would like this. You would. You would like this.
Okay.
It's really good. Just watch the first episode, please.
All right, I'll think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Watch the first episode.
I'm cautious. I'm very cautious with your recommendations, Allison. You've led me astray.
What about that other site? What is that other site? What did you say it was? Metacritic.
Okay, here. All right, let's look. I'll bring it back up. What's the button at here? All right, I'm bringing it back up on the screen. Let's see. Metacritic. All right. School Spirit.
It got a 69. That's not bad.
That's not horrible, actually.
I think it's a 69 out of 70.
No, that's not how that works.
I think it's a 70-point scale.
That's 100% not how that works. But actually, a 69 is actually pretty good on Metacritic. Like, it's in the green, you see, still.
I'm telling you, it's good.
I mean, the user score is 5.2. It's not, instilling confidence.
That
There's only 6 critics, so 6 people.
Okay. Yeah. I was about to add my score. I was going to give it a 10, but then I have to sign up and everything. I'm not doing all that crap.
I mean,
don't read anything. It's so good. Okay. I want you to watch the first episode, please. Commit to just one episode.
All right, I'll watch one episode. Ugh.
Thank you. And then text me afterwards.
Okay, what are you waste an hour of my life? Okay.
It's fine.
All right, I'm debating.
It's just an hour.
I'm debating on what I want to do, but I figure I'm going to do a movie, okay? Because I've talked about this before, right? Like my challenge to watch as many 2023 movies as I can.
Can I guess what the movie's about?
Well, I haven't told you the title. You don't even know what I'm going to say yet.
I know, but you can tell me the title, and if I haven't heard of it, I'm going to guess the plot.
Okay, all right, I will. So let me set it up for you. So right now, at this point, this is December 11th, 2023. I'm recording this. I've watched 65 movies that have come out this year.
Holy
crap.
crap.
It's a lot of movies. There's some really good ones, some ones I didn't even see coming. And I'm having a hard time picking one off of this list to be like, this is one I want to say that I'm loving. So,
So you have to pick one.
I got to pick one. You know what? I'm just going to pick the one I saw most recently. I think that'll be the easiest way to do this. Okay. And so the movie I just saw is called The Holdovers. And I really enjoyed this movie.
Okay, The Holdovers. Mm-hmm. The Holdovers. Okay, let me think about what this would be about. I'm going to hold over your. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready
This
for this.
is a group of people that are down on their luck,
Okay.
and they need some sort of money. And so they decide to swindle or scam someone or some group of people out of their money. And they're going to hold over. Hold on. Maybe not. Anyway, they're going to scam. They're going to scam a business, not a casino. That's too Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever. They're going to scam someone to get their money, and they find themselves in this drama of gathering their dollars and cents. And you know, it's not because they're down on their luck, because their mom has cancer.
Wow, it's getting dark.
And they just need to pay for her chemotherapy, and they end up getting caught, and they go to jail, and their mom dies.
Wow. That's how the movie ends? So you just fades to black when the mom dies?
Yes, but the mom dies with a sense of like pride that her children came forward and confessed about what they did.
Yeah, I don't even think I need to say that this is not even close to what this movie is about. But I'll say it, this is not even close to what it's about. So, I just saw this movie on Saturday. It stars Paul Giamatti, who I like. I like him in pretty much anything I've seen him in. I don't know if you do you know who that is. He is.
Show me a picture.
I'll show you a picture.
I'm not good at names.
Me either, but I only know his name. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. This is him here, Paul Giamatti. This guy.
Oh yes.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Big Fat Liar. He was in Fred Claus. He's been in a ton of stuff. These are probably horrible examples of movies he's been in. He was in Big Mama's House.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
He's horrible. Oh, he was in The Truman Show. I didn't know that. But anyways, basically, this is about a all boys school in. I actually don't even know where they're set. I think they're somewhere where it snows. Maybe it's New York. I don't know where they're in a small town in the 1970s. And basically, Paul Giamatti is a teacher at this all boys boarding school. And he gets stuck with being the teacher that sticks around during the holidays for the kids that have nowhere to go. So there's a small group of kids, and it's 4 kids who basically they can't go home to their family for whatever reason. So he's stuck there. He's all disgruntled. And there's one kid who ends up having to stay after the fact because his mom is remarried and just is well, we need to take our honeymoon, so you just have to stay at school. And it's a story of basically their experience being stuck there at this school, and kind of, it's almost I don't even know, not the coming of age, but it's these two people kind of learning a little bit more about life and death and struggles and all this stuff while being stuck at this school. And it's both it's a comedy. It's really funny, but it's a rated R comedy, so it's on the adult side.
Okay.
But it's really well told story of and it's a Christmas story at that. So it's set during the holidays. And so you get kind of a little Christmas movie feel too, with some really great acting and just a really, really heartfelt story. It surprised me at how good this was. It was just a very pleasant movie to sit and watch on a random Saturday.
Is it in theaters only?
It's in theaters right now. I do not think that it is available to stream or anything like that. Here's the cover art for it. This is what it looks like over here, if you can see that.
Yeah, it's my cutoff. If it's in theaters, I'm not going to go see it.
Yeah, it's in theaters. I don't know how long it'll be in theaters, but it's definitely worth the watch. And, okay. I got to give you one honorable mention. I have to tell you about this movie just because it reminded me so much of you.
Oh my God, what is it?
So there's a movie called I think it's A Man Named Otto. Let me see. Is that what it's called? Yeah, A Man Called Otto.
A Man Called Otto. Don't tell me about it, because I'm supposed to read the book and then watch the movie.
Oh, are you? Okay, so I didn't know this was a book.
Yes, it's a book. So I have a rule that if it's after a book, I always read the book first.
Oh, okay.
And I'm it's on my Libby. I have a hold for it.
All right, I won't spoil it for you, but the movie stars Tom Hanks, obviously,
yes.
So it's great acting. But all I'll say is, a neighbor, this happens the first 2 minutes of the movie. A neighbor moves in across the street. It's a family. the woman, the woman who's the mother of the family, she reminds me so much of you because.
Wait a minute. I have seen this movie. I decided not to read the book. She speaks Spanish and she comes over with her casserole and she's like really out there and she brings him out of his shell.
Yes.
And she forces herself upon him.
This is
whether or not he wants to be friends with her.
This is Allison. This woman, she's going to make Tom Hanks be her friend no matter what. She shows up at his door. She brings the food. She's knocking on the door. She asks him, "Can you take me to the doctor? Because my husband is hurt. Can you?" Like, she's just basically has forced her way into his life, and broken down his grumpy walls. And the character reminds me so much of you, Allison. Like her personality. I was like, this. If none of you have ever met Allison, I want you to watch this movie and just look for this character, and that's Allison. I mean, Allison doesn't speak Spanish, so it's not that part of it. It's just this person's character. Like, they're very energetic, very optimistic, bubbly, gonna force you to be their friend, whether or not you want to be their friend.
I loved her character, just so you know.
Yes, because it was you.
Secondly, let's just say that Otto was a sad man with no one in his life. And he had pushed everyone away. And he was just grumpy, old, and sad. And she saw past that. And she saw good in him. She saw the good in him despite him not seeing good in himself. And she brought him into her family. And they became a family together.
They did. This Allison, this is you. You like this character so much because you saw yourself in her. Because you and her are the same person.
Amazing.
She is. This was a good movie. It's darker than I thought it was going to be. The movie a little bit on the darker side, but it's still a really good story. It's not like I wouldn't necessarily have your kids probably shouldn't watch this. I don't think this is good for a child to watch. But it is.
Oh, that's such a compliment.
Yeah, you are this lady. I forgot to say.
Also, a little. She's a little over the top and pushy.
Yeah, exactly.
Her I don't know if I agree with
Marisol,
that.
And that's her character, and that's you. That is Allison. If you're looking for it, that's go watch this movie. That's this is exactly who Allison is. Like this, they're basically the same person. I
need to go back and rewatch it now. Because I mean. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Matt watch it with me. And then at the end, I'm going to ask him, who does that remind you of? And I'm going to see what he says.
Oh, he can't. He may not say because he doesn't want to insult you. He's like, well, I can't say it's Allison. Let me say it reminds me of somebody else.
No, he would tell me. He's not worried about insulting me.
Oh. So. Wait, okay. Before we get there, I see there's someone in here. Ashley is left a comment for us. Since we're at the end of the episode, let me read. It says, "Hey, Chris and Allison, I figured now is the best time for quote unquote Jacqueline to give the update on the roommate situation. My fiance, I talked to him the other day. The podcast episode released. Hold on, do you remember this?
Wait, which one was this?
We had already planned to do that, and he ended up getting a job within a week. Didn't pay rent after that, and we finally got him. Oh yes." Don't worry, this is going in the Patreon feed. This won't go public since I said some names as I was reading this comment out loud. But okay.
Wait a minute. Where's the?
So this would have been.
I'm like, which one is it again? Because this was so long ago that we recorded it.
This was a while ago. Let me find the episode here. Thanks for the update. This was a perfect time because we probably wouldn't. This is the last recording, so I'm happy you brought it up. I'm gonna see if I can find it here. So this was. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the episode?
This was 70. Hold on.
Let's see.
Is it 70?
It released May 2nd.
Oh gosh.
This is a while ago. Okay, let's go back. How do I kick him out? This is the one. So here's a description of the episode. Have you ever been in a situation where you let someone move in to save money only to regret it later? That's exactly what happened to our listener. They let their fiance's friend move into their house to save money on rent, but after losing his job, he stopped paying altogether.
Oh, that's right.
Talk to him, but to no avail. They feel increasingly resentful of his presence and don't know how to approach the awkward conversation with them. That's what it is.
I remember this one.
Yes.
That's right. So my fiance and I talked to him the day the podcast episode released. Did y'all do that because you listened to the podcast?
I know.
That's what I want to know.
I want to know. He ended up getting a job within a week, but didn't pay rent after that, and we finally got that. That's the thing. Like, how are you gonna get a job and then still not pay rent?
Yeah, no. That's just like he's just like, oh, this has worked before in the past. I'm going to keep doing it. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's like, oh, this is great. I can keep not doing this, and then I can just do what I want with my money. No.
But I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you too for speaking up and saying something. And it sounds like it worked out. I'm sure it was not easy either to do that. To have to confront someone, especially like a friend.
Yeah.
So we had already
planned to before the episode came out.
It was just
good. I'm proud of you guys.
Just timing. It ended up matching up. But yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. One final question. Are they still, is this person still a friend, or was that like, did that end it? Was it just like, we just got to cut ties altogether? Because that could be a hard one to get someone to be like, you need to both get a job and pay rent or move out. And then when they finally do it, to be able to maintain that relationship. Because it's not cool. Like as a friend to do that to someone, to be like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna sit there and freeload off of my friends. That's not cool to do that in the first place.
Yeah, because it was 2 years. So it was a whole year of him not paying rent. Paid 4 months out of the past year. That's a generous estimate. I'm looking back at what it was. I don't talk with him, but my fiance is still friends with him. That's fair.
That is fair.
That's fair. Maybe a healthy, like we don't have to be like best friends.
Yeah.
Or, but a healthy kind of just, I don't know. What am I saying here, Chris? Finish my sentence.
I don't know what you're doing. You're moving your hand. Allison's moving her hand forward like she's pushing up off the ground. I don't know what that represents.
Like an acquaintance friendship kind of thing.
Yeah, like I don't think you need to be friends with your partner's friends, right? Like that's not a requirement. Like,
no, Matt is not friends with all my friends. He couldn't keep up with that. Like he's just like, I don't know. He's so introverted. That would be asking a lot of him.
It'd be torture. He's like, it
would be torturous. You know that story we shared before about how that new husband tagged along with the wife and 7 of her friends or whatever. Like that would be torture for Matt. He would be like, there is no way I'm going to dinner with y'all. I do not want to sit around with all of your friends and eat. Like he would be like, absolutely not. He does not want to do that.
I think it's awkward in general, like going to hang out with a bunch of other people, like hang out with one, like if it's one friend and then all of their other friends that you don't know, like I don't even want to do that. Like that's even kind of awkward. Like they're like, they all know each other. They have their inside jokes and conversations. Like that's still like weird to be like in that situation.
I don't think it's too weird. I mean, I could do that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's not like it wouldn't be my favorite thing to do, but I would find something to talk about with the other person, the other people.
I know you would. I mean, you befriended Tom Hanks when he was at his lowest. So, I mean, I always assume that you
don't worry, Tom, I've got you.
Well, thanks for that update. We rarely get updates. Like every now and then someone will let us know, but hey, final Patreon episode of the show, we get at least one nice update on what's going on. I'm happy you're able to stick through it and confront him and, put it out there and get that taken care of. So that's good.
Yes.
Proud
Thank you for sharing that, Ashley. We appreciate it.
You're not supposed to say her name again. Wow.
Oh God, this is awkward. I meant thanks for sharing that, Abby.
Well, so much better. So much better.
Oh goodness.
Why? Okay, I think Logan's already told the story. He's trying to extend this episode out even longer. I'll read it. He said, I have an awkward story. I was coming from a convention with a bespectacled, bearded friend.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
I wonder who that could be. He was driving and noticed a spider crawling on the dash. He quickly pulled over and jumped out of the car. He says, quote unquote, running around and freaking out. I don't think that's what it was. This wasn't too far from Disneyland, so there were a lot of people around. It was pretty awkward and embarrassing, especially since the spider was a big daddy long legs. Okay, he's exaggerating all of this.
Okay, you pulled over because there was a spider on the dashboard? That was your reason for pulling over, because of a spider?
Let's not get this. Take his word on this. We were driving.
Logan always tells the truth, and he knows the facts.
He's a liar.
Every situation.
This is the man that was freeloading and making me pay for his beer. So let that be the part of the judgment of his character. But we were driving near Disneyland, and this spider, this gigantic spider, dropped from the ceiling. It was like underneath something and dropped down onto us in the car. And so I didn't know. I think it was like right in the middle, or it landed mainly on me. So I'm driving. So I pull the car over. Like we were right there by a driveway. So like leading into like a little parking lot. So I just pull over and I get out of the car and I brush my body to like get the spider off of me. And
you did a scared dance?
He also got out of the car. We both exited the car and we both went, and like we're like brushing out, like, what was that? And trying to brush the spider off of us. 'Cause I'm like, I don't know what kind of spider this is. I don't know what it was. And it just randomly dropped on me while I'm driving. So for his safety, because he was in a child seat, a car seat, because he's not large enough yet to be in a full size front seat. He was in the child seat in the back. So I unbuckled him and got him out, and we dusted ourselves off. And
it's not fair to say these things about Logan when he can't defend himself.
Oh, so thanks for adding that in, Logan. I know you're very proud of yourself to get that story in there at the end of the show here.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, well, I hope that the spiders stay away from you.
I know. Rude. So. Spider was very rude. That was not safe for it to be doing that. Oh, but goodness. All right, this is now officially the end. We did it. We did our regular episode, and now we're finishing up this Patreon episode. And thanks again to all of our patrons who've supported us, who've
joined us live.
Yes,
been in Discord.
Yeah,
it's been fun. We're happy that we got to meet you guys, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to maybe know you guys so close and learn about what you do and how you spend your time. So we're really thankful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it. Like having this community with the podcast made it so much more fun, because it felt kind of isolating before, right? Because we would be recording and then you don't know, like people don't always write in or leave comments or things like that. So you don't really know. You just recording and hoping people like it. But the fact that, you all decided to join us and be your part of it, and you've provided so many topics that we've covered on the show. I mean, just this whole Patreon episode were things that you all have submitted to us. It really made a huge difference, and it was definitely the best part of doing the show.
I was gonna say that too. It's the best part of the podcast.
Yeah, by far.
Was the Patreon. It really, really was. So thank you guys so much, and we'll still have Discord open, right, Chris?
Yeah, we'll still keep it around. So I don't know logistically how it's going to work, because I have to go in, and when I turn everything off, I don't know if it will restrict access or not. I don't know how that works. So I will hopefully figure that out, and then when I tell it to shut down, if there's a way I can send you all a message to help you join back in if you want to, I'll do that as well. Because I also, this is a Patreon episode, so I let them all know that because things got messed up and delayed in our recording, Patreon went through and processed the payment again for December, and it did not want it to do that. So I talked to Patreon. I cannot issue a refund through Patreon because of their weird system. Because they take the fees out, so there's already less money in there than what we receive, so it won't even allow me to refund it back. So I left an email address for you all there. So if you would like to be refunded for the last month, please feel free to do so. Just send me a message, and I could probably do like PayPal and just send it back to you that way. Just email me with an email address that you use for PayPal, and I can get it back over to you. So that way, that way you're not charged for these random just 2 episodes we ended up putting out for the month of December. So yeah, please reach out to me and let me know, and I can make sure we get that back over to you all.
Yes, and thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll figure out the Discord. I don't really know how Discord works.
Allison doesn't know. Chris will figure out.
I was like, I don't even know. Like, can we just create a new Discord channel, invite everyone to go? Like, is that what we do? I have no idea.
That could be a possibility, but I hate to lose everything that's in there. So at the very least, I may have to just send you all invites again, because I think we should have your emails, so I can just send that back to you. If you're welcome to jump back in there if you want to.
Okay, that's probably better. That's an easier way to do it, probably, instead of creating something from scratch. But okay, well, everyone have a good rest of the year, and great holiday season. Enjoy time with family and friends.
Yeah, and please stay in touch. Feel free to reach out to us. Oh, again, we said this in the regular episode, but we'll throw it in the Patreon one too. You can both kind of keep whatever I was going to say. I was going to keep along with us. It's not a sentence. You can keep up with us by going to our individual social media profiles out there. So Allison's Inspired Budget. I'm Popcorn Finance. You can find, Popcorn Finance Podcast, because I still never figured out the issue I had with losing access to an old username. But yeah, you can find us over there, and we'll both still be podcasting, doing our own shows, and having fun.
Yeah, keep in touch.
All right, we'll see you all later.
And on Discord. Bye, guys.
Bye.